Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen, where the magic happens live. Every Friday we're on air, testing tech to thrive. From screen
Oh my
share,
gosh, Mike,
breakout rooms,
that
we
made me
push
so
Zoom
happy.
to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Whether you're new to Zoom or an expert in disguise, we've got tips and tricks. We'll open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join us live, see what Zoom does with ease. So if your meetings lag, or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we've got solutions, we'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in a fun, engaging way. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We've got your back, no wreck. We've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in a fun, engaging way.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen. If you are watching us on YouTube, either now or after the fact, I'm going to turn my original sound off so that I sound a little better. There we go. That should clear up a little bit. And we're here every Friday, beating on Zoom, learning about it, figuring it out. And boy, Mike, do me a favor, throw that up again. I want everyone to be able to see this. He's got the new version of Zoom ready to go. No, that's not it. Hold on, it's coming. It's coming. Mike, where'd it go? There we go. We are on point 6.7, version 6.7. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. And we have a lot to get through today, but let's quick say hi. Fred, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I actually have a day off. Just chilling at home.
I was just going to ask if you're on location or if you're somewhere. It's nice to see you at home.
Nope, I'm sitting in my office. It's really nice.
Fantastic. Love it. Peter Sargent, are you sitting at home in your office?
I absolutely am. Get you
And
still.
how are things by you? Everything good?
Everything's good. I watched your show last night.
I know you are in the chat. Thank you for being there. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Lovely having you. Leo Mindell is driving. I don't know what he's driving. He just went past Heathrow. Are you on your way to Heathrow?
No, I'm on my way home from seeing my daughter. We
Very
lit some
nice.
candles. We lit some candles.
You lit some candles. Wait, I have to. Now that you mention that, hold on. So this is my. If you go to 8nights.online, this is my AI Hanukkah menorah lighting. So you click on the
almost like
menorah,
you don't need to do it.
right? You do that, and then you grab it, and then you light the candle. It's not lighting correctly. There we go. And then you light this one, and this one.
That was yesterday's video, was it?
I don't know. See, it's not. No, see, it just doesn't light properly. I don't know why. That's all right. That's my. And then if you want the blessings, if you're in a religious mood, you can bring the blessings in there. Oh my Lord, I have way too much time on my hands. Good to see you, Leo. Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
What's up? Go ahead. No? All right. Mike Latta, how you doing?
I'm back, even though I was
You
back.
are back.
So I'm going to be
You
doing
are-
this every so often. I'm just letting everybody know. Okay. All right.
Is how
That's
many
our
you're
version
at,
number.
sixes and sevens?
6, 7.
Sixes.
All right,
If
so
you're not a teenager, you
I
don't
want to
get it.
know, what is this thing about 6 and 7? I'm obviously not a Gen Z or whatever it is, but there's this, everybody's talking about the 6-7 thing, and I have no idea what it means.
Over to
It
you, Mr.
literally-
Peskin.
It literally means nothing. Literally. Like there's no meaning to it. It just, someone started it and everyone now goes 6, 7. The more you know. Do. Hasbrook, how you doing, sir? Nice to see you. Good to see you. Mr. Tony Mobley, hello, sir.
Greetings, sir. How are you? Long time no
I'm
see.
good. I didn't know this, but according to Mike, this is the holiday edition of the Zoom Test Kitchen. What should I, you know what I should have done? Hold on a second. It's not just Santa who has a hat. I got one too.
But we
And
can't
you
see
can't
it.
see it.
Okay. Here we
I
go.
know, I'm working on it. Just wait a second.
That's
Not
cool.
only that, but
Are you going to light those candles?
I did. It lit up. You can't see it though. Wait, maybe
Yeah.
I'll turn my lights off. Here we
Oh, wow.
That's about as good as it gets over here. That's all I got. Hey, Lois, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fine. It's supposed to be raining, but I see sunshine out there. So
Well, there
it's
you go.
one of those
You know
that
what,
sort of we're in, we're out.
Lois? Every day is sunny in the Zoom Test Kitchen.
And every day in California is sunny if you go up above the fog.
Above the fog.
Yeah.
Frank, hello, sir.
Greetings. I love your hat.
Did all of your wishes and dreams come true with this release?
Oh, hell no. But I
How
will
have
say,
the forums been?
I will say, Mike. Oh, there's been some complaining. Mike, now that you've started a new tradition, I'm waiting for 6-8, 6-9, 7. Like, you have to do it every time now.
Yeah, you really do. He's right about that. Lord Zoom, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, and I have a song.
You have a different
for you.
stage name every time you come in.
There is a song you need to learn, and I can't do it right. 6-7 is out. It's now. X, M, A, S. Because Kylie's just become #1 in the UK charts for Christmas songs.
Being a rabbi in America, I missed that. I'm so sorry. Okay. XMAS. Is that how it goes?
That's pretty damn good.
I want to
Wrong song.
celebrate
Wrong song, but right
X.
actions.
M-A-S. Robert, how you doing? Save me from John.
I'm celebrating Christmas just about. I got a new Christmas present I can show you. It hasn't
What did
been
you
put under
get?
it hasn't been put under the Christmas tree yet, but it's going to be there.
Oh, look at that. You're on mute. He's joined the dark side. He's he's coming to Ecam. Did they just send that to you? That's nice.
No, they didn't just send it to me. I
You bought
asked
it.
them to send it to me and I paid
Oh,
them
okay.
to send it to me.
Okay. Because I have a You're on Mute t-shirt, but mine isn't as nice as that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Fantabulous. Good, good, good. Who am I missing? Dan is here. Hi, Dan, behind the scenes. And who else? Peter. I got Roland is here. Hello, Roland. I think that's everyone. All right. Shall we? How do you all want to do this? Do you want to take a look? I have opened up, if we want to. I've opened up a fresh instance of Zoom, never touched by human hands since the upgrade. So I haven't closed any windows or anything. So when you, I don't know, should we do a little walkthrough real quick? Is that helpful? I guess.
Why not?
Not. Oh, why not? All right. So, oh, by the way, I have a serious problem. Sorry. Let me just. So remember, if you remember last week, we had a small conversation about a mouse, what mouse you should use, and I may have made a couple of purchases. I have
Uh-huh.
so many freaking mice on my desk now.
Now you need a
Literally,
cat.
I have 4 mice. But I'll tell you the one that's really doing it for me is actually the one that the one with all the buttons on it. I'm not using any of the buttons. I just like looking at them. But that one that's been solid. That's the one I'm using so far. It's the Corsair gaming one, which I never thought I would want. But okay,
Can you show it
back
to
to
us?
Zoom. Well, I could, except the whole point I got is that it's plugged in, so I can't really lift it up. That's the problem.
And is it ergonomically sort of suited to your hand? Do you feel good with it?
It's
Is it a mouse or is it a trackball?
no, it's a mouse. Here I'll bring it up and it's the Corsair mouse. What is it called? Gaming mouse.
What can I say, David? Welcome to the gaming world equipment.
Here, it's
gaming equipment world.
Yeah, it's this guy. Except my colors are blue. It doesn't have like this yellow stuff on it.
What's the buttons on the side for?
It's
Is that
got
a
a
phone?
keyboard, like an alphanumeric keyboard on the side.
Yeah, it's got
So
all
Ray
these
had
numbers
last
on the
week.
side. Yeah, and you can program them to do stuff. I have no idea how to do that yet. I haven't gotten that far. The only thing I'm missing, and it's actually a real problem for me, is that my the MX Master 4, which I was using before, which I still have by my side, has horizontal scroll. It's got a horizontal scroll wheel, which I see that, which I really like a lot. And this one doesn't have that. You cannot horizontally scroll.
Just dedicate a button to be some sort of alt button when you scroll.
So that's exactly what I was trying to do before I gave up because I couldn't figure it out. But I will get back to that. I promise.
You could also
figure
have
out to
2 mice, one that goes up and down and one that goes side to side.
Well, I've got 4 here. So I've got the one that
Do
goes
you
side to
use
side. I've
all
got the one that
4?
goes up and down. And then I've got this big ergonomic dude. Well, I can't show it to you. I got this big ergonomic, the $18 ergonomic thing, which right now is just hard connected to this computer. So if everything else fails, I can still.
Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, let's get back to this. Okay, so meet the new way to navigate. So your navigation has moved from the top to the side. Let me actually open up. How do I do this? Cursor. That's what I want. Okay. So you can drag and drop and rearrange tabs or pin your favorites from the menu for quicker access. So if I can remove, I can pop out, or I can remove from toolbar. I haven't actually popped out. This is all right clicking, by the way. So when you right click, you can pop anything out. That's actually kind of nice. I like that. Okay, it's loading. And then under more, Get ready for the magic. It's in a grid. So we get a grid now instead of a long list. One of the things that I was surprised by actually is that it's not in here. If you're hosting a meeting, your host tools, for me at least, were not by default in the bottom of my screen. I had to go into the more menu in the Zoom app and pull it down. And that surprised me a little bit. Because I at first I was like, oh my God, where are my host tools? But so you've got docs, whiteboards, clips, tasks, all your things here. The hub, which is right, this is where they kind of put all of your docs in one place. And you can, so it's still doing this little thing where you open something, it's replacing the last. So if I put tasks, it's going to always put what I have open in this last spot here. But if I want to drag something in, well, where did it go? Hello? Where? Zoom just crashed. That was interesting. Okay, sorry about that.
And what happens when you remove something? How do you get it back? If you decide you didn't want to remove it, actually.
So if you... No, that's interesting. I'm trying to remove something, but I remove from toolbar. It's... Yeah, look at that. Zoom quit unexpectedly. Okay. And then it just moves it here into the more menu.
Are you on Tahoe?
I am on the latest, yeah. Actually, this machine is on the beta.
Saw a few people in the community forum complaining that Tahoe was crashing with Zoom.
Yeah, let me just check. Yeah, I'm on 26.3 beta. So on this machine, I run the beta. So if you remove something from the sidebar, it just goes here into your more menu, and then you can drag things and pop them over here. But again, anything you open is always going to end up in the bottommost space. Okay, that works. Again, just sort of a new look across. You've got just the icons instead of the look that we had before. They didn't do this in a grid, which is, it's interesting that they weren't consistent. This is in a grid, but then the more menu here is not in a grid. Interesting.
Maybe that's so you can at a glance figure out which one you've got open.
Maybe. Let me go ahead and join a meeting so we can see what that looks like. I'll join this meeting. I'm not going to connect my audio, and you don't need to see my video. If you could let me in, that would be awesome, Mike. Thank you so much. All right, so here's the... hold on. I just have to change it to gallery. There we go. Sorry about that. So here's the meeting experience now. So I've still got audio down here, video. Blur my background is now a toggle right here. Auto frame my video is now a toggle right. You don't have to scroll anywhere to get to those. It's interesting. Let me actually just join audio just so that we can see. No, that's not what I want to do. Sorry. Click join audio. Okay. So under audio, the usual stuff. Here are your microphone modes again. Nothing out of the ordinary here, I don't think. Right. And the same thing from the other one, we've got the grid view here of your different options, and you can drag things and drag them in. You can right click, remove from toolbar. Can you pin? I don't know if you can pin in the meeting experience. I'm sorry, I didn't see you, Frank. Go ahead.
Oh, no big deal. See that audio meter?
Yeah.
Why can't Zoom just have that be an option all the time for meetings? They obviously know how.
You mean just so it could come up in the meeting?
Yeah, that like a shared meter,
Yeah.
like or meters that are supplied by all of you guys. It doesn't
Yeah,
have to be
this,
on by default, but it'd be a nice option for meetings.
so let me just explain what people are seeing here because this is actually new and I didn't even see it. Thank you for pointing it out. When I went over to audio and I clicked on audio settings, instead of it opening up a separate panel, it opened up this side by side panel. And there is no way to pop this panel out. So your settings now live right there. So I'll bring it back up again, audio settings. Now I want to try one thing. I want to see how that works on when you're full screen. So in this other machine, all right, so when you're full screen in Zoom, it does the same thing it did before. It pops out the setting, here it is, sorry. I'll just show this to you. It pops out the setting windows separately. So that's the same behavior as before. I never use it not full screen, so I could be wrong, but I believe this is just different behavior. And what the reason so when I speak, you're seeing this, but when someone else speaks, you're seeing it also. And I think that's only because of the way I'm routing my audio.
I was going to
I
say,
don't
because that normally is just your own microphone.
correct. So the way because this is a separate meeting, excuse me, a separate computer, and the way I have my audio routed, I'm able to kind of monitor everyone's audio here, but that wouldn't be true for most people. They would just see their own. I would also, well, sorry, I'll just stop there. Is spatial audio new? I don't remember seeing that. Robert, go
It's-
ahead.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. Were you gonna say something?
No, as far as I know, spatial audio has been there for a bit, but again, I'm not using it.
I think it was there for the last couple of versions. I went
Was
into
it?
audio
Okay.
settings. I remember seeing it there.
All right, sorry about that. Go ahead, Robert, please.
I was going to say that this is anyone who uses Microsoft Teams knows that this is the same layout for the settings as in Microsoft Teams.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that last week. Are you surprised by that?
Am I surprised? No, because I think there's a lot of effort being made to get into the corporate market, and people there are just used to doing things in a certain way. So this is going to make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
I had to do a Teams meeting the other day, and I hated it. There was hardly
Yeah.
anything that you could do. There's all these things you can do in Zoom that you can't do in Teams.
By the way, just one other before I see you, Lois, and to change this again, I'm sorry. Go up here to gallery. One of the things that really threw me for a loop when I first started using this is that I always clicked on the badge here to find the meeting ID, and it's no longer there. The badge is now just encryption and where you're connected to, I guess. If you want your meeting information, you have to come over here to click on meeting participant ID, which doesn't fully make sense to me, although the I for information does make sense. But it just, that threw me for a loop because I've always clicked on here and then from here clicked on the cogwheel to get to settings. That's how I've just always done it for whatever reason. And now this
Is that the
is
way it
here.
is? It's always been on Mac. Because on Windows, my little green button is up there where the information button is now. It's always been on the left side, top left.
So the green, my
right.
green shield was always on the right, but it had different information in it. So it hasn't moved its location, although it was farther over here to the left. But and then what is this? Apps that access meeting content. That's nothing. And this. Okay, I'm sorry. Lois and Frank, go ahead.
So does this new version of Zoom work on an older operating system? I'm on a Mac. I don't have Tahoma or whatever your new one is.
Tahoe.
I have an older version on my Mac. Do I have to worry about updating the Zoom?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Not
I'll
for
be
9
right back.
months.
Say again, Frank?
Not for 9 months.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go
No,
and update and I'll be back.
All right. Frank, did you want to jump in?
Yeah, I sort of give up, but I was just going to say, and it's kind of trivial, but it's just an annoyance for me, is that when I usually have participants on the top right-hand side, and I have the chat on the bottom right-hand side, and now whenever I want to adjust an audio or video setting, it replaces one of those two. Then I have to rebuild my
wow.
whole layout every single time I make an audio or video adjustment, which is a little less friendly than it used to be.
So, okay. So
Are you
this is
on a
great
Mac?
because
Yes, I am.
Because it doesn't do that for me on Windows.
so let's just show. So if you're not, again, this only works if you're not full screen. If you're not full screen, you can click on participants and that'll open up on the full side. And then, oh, sorry.
And then I always click chat next,
Then
so
you
I have
click chat.
participants. Yeah, and that's my
No.
traditional. Mine's not
Wait,
popped
why
out though.
did this? But why was mine popped out?
I don't know.
That's
Did you have it
strange.
popped out previously and it remembered?
I didn't want it to pop. All right. Well, that's
I
what
don't
it should
usually
be.
pop
I'm
out
not-
either.
Yeah. No, I'm not sure. So,
There,
now
so
you've
yeah,
got
that's my traditional
participants at
layout.
the top. Right.
Now go
chat on the
change.
bottom.
Now go change some kind of setting, and you're going to lose something over there.
So I'm gonna, let's say I want to go into audio settings, and right, it moves.
Yeah.
So it's kind of scrolling. Is what it's
And
doing.
then
It's
when you
putting
get rid of the
bottommost-
now when you get
Right.
rid of the settings that you were trying to adjust, you're just
Yeah.
left with one panel,
right,
and you have to rebuild your layout. That's a little bit of an annoyance. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's not awesome either.
And you can't get participants back on top.
Yeah, you have to rebuild it. But
You have to
why
rebuild
why can't it just remember, like, okay, I open my video effects,
Right.
then I close my video effects. Why can't it remember and go back to the previous layout?
Yeah, David,
Yeah.
what you'd have to do is unclick participants and chat and then start over again.
Right. No, exactly. Which is, yeah, that would be frustrating.
It's not a big deal, but I mean, imagine if you do it 20 or 30 times a meeting, then it starts to become like, really? I have to do this all the time.
When I start up in Windows, it comes up in full screen. So I click escape, and I guess that takes me to. I don't click on the minimize button. I just click escape, and it ships my thing over. And then as soon as I hit participants and chat, and it stacks them in there, and then from then on, it doesn't move it anymore.
What happens
But
if you open
something else?
Audio or video settings?
Yeah.
Do you have the same issue I have on Windows?
When it comes to the layouts,
Oh yeah, you know what? It just updated today, so that's something new. It didn't do that the other day.
Yeah.
And you're right. So now I have to close everything.
Yeah, this is definitely. I'm talking about a 6.7 issue that didn't used to exist.
I can absolutely see that being a point of frustration. In fact, so much so that if I didn't do everything in full screen, I would be creating a hotkey to rebuild somehow. Yeah. I hope some hands went down, but I think Robert had his hand up. Robert, did you want to jump in?
I'm struggling with my camera today, so I'll just pause at the moment. Thanks.
I think Hasmuth is ready. David, for you, he's got a question.
Hasmuth was born ready. Go ahead, Hasmuth.
Can you show us that green share button again?
Absolutely. The green share button or the green shield?
I'm being ironic. Obviously, the share button.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
lost its.
That's another change, right? Is that there is no more share button that's green down here, which makes it a little harder to find. Yeah. Yeah. What else is different?
Didn't there used to be an emoji button down there too? All I get now is react on the bottom there. Got reaction settings or remove.
I think that's actually isn't that in settings, or that you can break them out, or was it always maybe it's. Although for some reason I can't send with effects. Oh, you have to have your camera on to send with effects. Interesting. Go ahead, Frank.
One thing that's different is that I'm in black mode and I didn't ask for black mode.
Really?
Yeah, like I
It
didn't.
just shifted you to black mode? That's so
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
You have got a black t-shirt on.
I meant my chat and participant panels are black. Everything's black now, and I didn't ever ask for that.
Wow. That's interesting.
How do you fix that?
I don't know. None of my operating system's in black mode either, so I'm just wondering if it's the new default, presume.
So I'm going to settings. No, see, it's not.
It's the top of
You know
general,
what?
isn't it?
You don't. So here's something interesting. So I'm looking at the settings options. Let me just back up for a second. So again, this meeting here, this is the same meeting I'm looking at. But I have the settings popped in, as it were, or not popped out. But then over here, I've got them popped out, the settings. And look how many more
But that's a
I
different,
have.
that's a different settings, isn't it? I mean, that's
No, it's
that's
not.
your Zoom workplace settings, isn't it?
No, it's
No?
not. So I opened it the same way. I went to I went to audio. I clicked on audio settings, and then it pops this out. But there are so many more options when the settings are popped out that aren't available when the settings are not popped out.
Where
Like,
are you
am I
getting, where are you getting to what you've got showing on your screen right now?
Say again?
Popped out from where? Where
More,
did you get
from
that?
the more menu and settings.
No, so it's just a question of, are you in full screen or not? This view right here that you're looking at is a non-full screen Zoom meeting. When you open up settings from this non-full screen view, it is not popped out. The panel is not popped out, and these are the things that you get. When you are in a full screen meeting mode, and you open up settings, this is what you get. And there are a lot more options here. And I don't know where these options are in. There seems to, maybe I'm missing something. It seems to be a mismatch. Like, where are my general meeting settings over here?
Would you?
They used to be in the Shield. And that's
I know,
this.
but then,
Would you close that with an X
Oh.
and then open it again so we can see how you're getting there?
sure. So I'm doing the same thing on
It's
both.
behind your
things.
head. I can't see anything.
That's my big
Thank
fat
you.
head again. I'm going to, there are lots of ways to get here, but
Okay.
I'm doing audio settings, and then I just go back to bring me to the main settings. I don't actually see, by the way, a way to get to.
No, there's not. I have both
No,
open.
there is.
There is. It's in the more.
Yeah, it's in the more. So there's a settings button here. But again, when I open settings, I have much fewer options here.
Mm-hmm.
So, David,
and different options. Like on this one, I've got display and controls.
The display and
But on
controls
the
where I
other
just
one-
found the black and white theme, but I can't turn mine off. I'm on classic, and it's got if you go to display and controls or hit, yeah. See, the one that mine is defaulted to is like yours, that first one there where it's split. And then that button underneath it that says dark panel.
Yeah, I think that's because you're in a meeting. I have a feeling if you popped out of the meeting, you'd be able to change that.
Okay. I'm also on dual monitor.
David, could you look at the top of your screen on your menu bar at the very top next to the apple where it says Zoom Workplace? There's a settings in there, which I think gives us more stuff.
No, but that's right.
And so that's where I was changing the light to the dark.
Right. But what I'm getting at is,
You want it in the meeting.
Well, no.
That's actually a huge customer service issue because it used to be in the green shield. So it was very easy to say, find the green shield, open up your settings, and it brings up the full panel. And now you're right, David. It brings up the one inside the more brings up one that has Very limited things. It doesn't have
But
statistics.
but Tamara, only if you're meeting, only if the settings panel is not popped out. When the settings
Right.
panel is popped out, then you get your workplace settings, which has a lot more stuff.
But that's what I'm saying. It used to be, because I literally am on 2 computers right now that have both the old and the new. So on the old one, I would say go to your Shield and pop out your settings, and it would bring you that pop out. So you'd have access to everything. Now in the settings, you don't have access to everything. So you actually do have to do what you're doing, which is like open something up and then try to get to that
Not
full
only
settings.
that, but the settings are organized differently.
Mm-hmm.
Like on when it's not popped out, you have a display and controls. You
Yep.
don't have that when it's popped out.
Right. And when you
when it's popped out, you have a meetings and webinars, and you have a general. You don't have that here.
and
Along with
also
statistics,
it's
and
not
shortcuts
popping
and-
out the whole thing. It's just popping out that.
Mine
So
is popped out, and I don't have what David just said. I have what you're showing here on the side.
if you go from the bottom, it will pop out the whole thing. If you go from the settings in the more, it only gives you those 6 settings. And when you click on those settings, it actually, on mine, it's only giving me literally the video. And then I don't have the sidebar where I can pick.
Let me just, I want to clarify something, because I think, Lois, you may have raised an important point. So there is a physical way to pop out a panel in some cases.
Right.
So if I open, for example, my participants panel, right,
Pop it
I
out.
have, excuse me, I have up here at the top a pop out button. Now I don't have that. If I do that, then I will see one thing. I don't have that pop out button for settings.
So
The only way to get settings to pop out is to open, as I'm calling it, maybe I'm using the wrong terminology, is to open Zoom in full screen. If you're in full screen mode and then you open settings, you have a different settings experience than you do when you are not in full screen.
I don't. It looks exactly the same whether it's popped in or popped out.
Can you show your,
Now, if you, where you are right now, if you look at settings and you've got it on the side, okay? And then,
no.
and
No,
then
no,
go
no,
to
no,
full
no, no, no.
screen and it'll pop out.
I know what the problem is.
What's-
This is user error. User error. That was me. User
What'd you
error.
do? What'd you do?
But the issue remains, I think, that now it's how do people find the things that they're looking for? Like how do I get to, so here I've got my settings, even if they're popped out. How do I get to general? How do I get to my general settings?
How do you find your statistics?
Right. I don't know
think
where any of
that's
that
in
stuff
the,
is
I
now.
think that's in the Zoom Workplace menu.
It is, but it used to
not-
be in the Shield, which was way more convenient during
Right.
the meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
And the shield is pertinent to this meeting, where that other thing is pertinent to your account.
No, statistics
Well,
are about
no.
the current
Right.
meeting you're in.
Statistics are, yeah.
But
for
I
the
mean,
meeting.
it's okay. But you're
Yeah.
getting it through your app.
I'm not. So David, tell me your user error, because I'm having that same user error then.
I don't want to say my user error because it's
Okay.
embarrassing.
No,
Well-
there's definitely a regression in some usability here.
Okay, I'm pressing settings and I'm not getting the pop out and I'm looking for it.
What, are you in full screen mode?
I am I think so.
Click the green circle on the top left to go into full screen mode.
A green circle.
What
All right.
green circle?
So you have a red circle, a yellow circle, and a green
The
circle.
traffic lights on a Mac.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in that. I'm in full screen mode.
And then so when you click settings, what happens?
I get a let me just check. Hold on. I get a pop-up that gives me video and effects, audio, displays, control.
Exactly. That's the new settings that pop. Right.
Right.
And therein lies the problem.
I can't
that
get
doesn't
to
right.
more
Exactly.
than that. And
Right.
even when I go through the bottom, if I go to audio, I just get audio. I can't get to anything from that. So that's where it is kind of problematic, because you might bring someone to video and then you'd be like, okay, great, we fixed your video. Now go down the side and click on audio, and then they'd be able to get in there. And in this, it's one and then the other and then the other. Like you.
Why do you think they did that? Because hardly anyone uses statistics.
But
like,
it's.
I mean,
let's say out of
let's say out of the totality of Zoom users, 15% of us use statistics. Is that why they got rid of it?
I would be shocked if it was that high a number.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I
like,
agree.
For all us advanced users,
I almost use it in every single.
Oh yeah, but did they just make a decision like as a team that like it's too cluttered and nobody really,
But
most people don't
even
use
keyboard shortcuts, accessibility, team chat, like there was lots of things in that availability. But I think what's problematic is that you can't move. Once you got to that bigger screen, you could move people from more places. So if I was customer servicing someone and I'd be like, okay, let's fix your camera. Great. Go in and click on these things. Now move over to that menu on the right, on the left, and go to the audio. Like you actually can't do that. You have to go video, and then you have to get them back to this very simple screen and go audio. So that's like actually from just from a producing standpoint, where you're helping people who are non-Zoom users, this is actually not less.
But their whole focus in all the marketing about 6.7 was simplify, right? So if you're an advanced user, I'm just waiting to like every time now. For an advanced user, this is a regression. For maybe like they've determined or they decided as a philosophy that they're not going to cater to the advanced users. They're going to cater to the average user. But that's annoying for all of us, right?
It's just hard to help other people, because even though I know they're saying it's simpler, my clientele is that 80-20%, but 80% need support and not 20.
Oh, I understand.
Like, so to have to get people in and out. And then I actually do use the statistics. I think anybody who's running a meeting would use them a majority of the time.
I have to admit that when I'm running a meeting, I'm usually using Zoom ISO as my primary client, and none of that's changed so far.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about the average Zoom user.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Those of us who are using it in advanced mode may not be using this client.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, because I use the more advanced things too. But for some of my meetings, really, they are like Zoom meetings plus, meaning the plus is having me run the meeting. They don't have to, right? But it's a vanilla Zoom meeting.
Maybe they'll have an add-on for $1 a month for statistics.
Right. That's so strange.
May I go?
So
no, Robert's there. Never mind. I didn't see his hand.
Robert?
Yeah, David, when you went into this new meeting and you got test your audio, test your video, has that changed? Have they moved certain things to before you get into the meeting to simplify it for the user?
Oh, I turn all that stuff off. But let me, if I can figure out how to turn it back on, I can test it.
Because this looks a lot like, I keep going back to this Teams, and that you only get certain limited options.
You can still test your audio. It just replaces one of your two panels on the right.
Okay.
Or you can do it, like you said, before the meeting if the host sets up a waiting room. That's always been an option for multiple iterations now.
But are you talking about the one, Robert, where you there's a pop-up before every meeting that?
Yeah, exactly. Before you join the meeting.
Right. So how I can't I don't even know how to get to those settings now. Those are in general.
You'd have to leave the meeting and
no, you know the Zoom app, that not the meeting app, but the actual Zoom app that has your calendar and everything else.
Yeah,
you click on your profile picture. There's a thing for settings in there, and that's like all of the settings.
If you go to, I just found it. If you go to Zoom Workplace and you open it from there, it will open the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying.
Wait, but open what from there?
So go to Zoom Workplace and go to settings. It will open the bigger one.
This
that-
is up next to the Apple in the menu bar. This is not anything in the meeting.
No, I
There's
understand
there's
that. Hold
multiple
on.
ways to get to it.
Why is this not now?
what does that look like for people who have a PC?
Yeah, that's my question.
Because I help people with both, and so I can help all the Apple people get there.
The same
Can
thing.
you,
You have to go
Mike?
back to
Can
the
you,
app. You have to go back to the main app.
Yeah.
Mike? Can you spotlight me? For some reason, my spotlight isn't working right now.
Yeah.
So
understood. One sec.
while you're doing that, I can answer Tamara's question. You have to go back to the app. So you have the meeting and then you have the app. You just have to go back to the app, and then from there you get the settings from the profile.
No.
Okay, so wait. There's a quicker way to find the settings. So if you go to, let John in. So if you go to, can you spotlight? Oh, you're not. Are you not a?
Yeah.
You
For
lost
whatever
it?
reason, I lost co-host. I don't know what you modified.
But for the Mac, you just go back up the top. When as soon as Zoom Workplace comes up, you click on Workplace, then click Settings.
Oh, but my older people are not going to be able to find that Zoom app window.
No, this one you don't have to leave the meeting,
Okay.
Tamara. For
Okay.
Mac, you just go up the top, wait until
Right.
the
For my
Zoom
Mac
Workplace.
people, that's great. But when I'm customer servicing a PC person,
Yeah. What's Windows equivalent?
All
It's
right, let
still
me join
less.
from the Windows meeting and tell you what is
It's
happening.
it's still less convenient. I don't like you can do it, but it's less convenient than it used to be.
like if I have to take someone back to finding a hidden window, that's.
So I'm in the meeting.
Mhm.
I cannot get to all of the settings that I need. So if I open the Zoom Workplace app, you can do it from up here and go to settings, or down here in the bottom left, there's a cogwheel.
Or the
You can
profile
click on
picture.
that. Or the profile picture. Let's do that.
Yeah, they gave us 3 ways out here, but no ways in the meeting.
No, the profile picture. Well, yeah, you'd have to come down here. So but nothing in the meeting, which to me is a real
that is
problem.
that is a real problem because if to talk someone who once they're in the meeting, like even getting them back to an email or anything is really a heavy lift, and especially if they're on an iPad or something that is like a tablet of any kind. That's actually really a hard lift. I know that it seems so easy for us, but it is really difficult for people who don't quite understand that when whatever window they see open, that there are other windows hiding underneath, and that they could even go back to that meeting app is and then if they don't have that meeting app and they logged in through the website, that means that we have no way of guiding them back.
So before Robert had asked about the join meeting experience. So I turned on, now that I could finally get to the meeting setting or to the settings, I turned that on. And so here I am. Click on the audio button to mute your mic. Okay. Oh no.
And
That's turned off. Right. Okay.
The
and I don't
button
have
there
open,
that
that's
says
why.
always show this preview when joining, that's important because if you ever click that off, you'll never see this again.
Correct. Right.
And you have to go enable it again in the settings.
Right, which is what I had done before. So I think that experience is pretty much the same. At least it looks to me like it was.
Thanks, David.
I just want access to the settings in the Shield. Please put that back. Thank you, Zoom.
I'm struggling with this new layout as well because you can't even get a user who can't access the general settings to change the settings so that when he does the share screen, you can see what the settings are. Because by default, they're not visible, correct?
Oh, right. So here's what, right. So if I'm not sure this will entirely work, but if I do, well, let me try and share desktop 2, because that's where my Zoom is. And let's see what actually comes up. So are you guys seeing the meeting?
Yes. Well, we're
That's
seeing your
interesting.
share.
No,
We're
I
seeing your
understand.
share.
But I wonder if maybe I've turned that on. Maybe that's why. because generally speaking, by default, that is turned off. Being able to see those Zoom windows.
Correct.
It won't even
Right.
offer them to you, which it did in this case.
Right. So where is? So that would be under share screen.
Show my
share
Zoom
my
work.
Zoom workplace application and meeting window. Right. So I have it turned on. So if I turn that off, let's see if let's see what happens now. I'm not sure if it just they're gone. So I think there you go. So now you can't see my Zoom window. And so Robert's right that if we want to help someone, we have to be able to get them to that setting, which they can no longer access through the meeting.
Okay, this is a question for Frank. Any idea when we will have to move to this version? We'll be forced to move to this version?
Basically, Zoom has something called the quarterly life cycle, and you have to be within 9 months of when they define which version, you have to be concurrent. So I don't know what they're going to pick as the next concurrent one. That'll remain to be seen. But at some point, you'll have to be in compliance. At some point, you're going to be forced onto 6.7 or past 6.7.
So
but
we
it's
have,
usually 9 months.
We have 9 months to get them to put inside the shield access to the general settings tab. It's that simple.
It could be less. It depends. Like, first they identify the version of Zoom that you have to be in compliance with, and I don't know which one they'll pick. I don't know that they'll pick 6.7. They might pick something before 6.7. But if this is a big landmark change for them and they want cohesive user experience, then it would make sense for them to pick 6.7 as being 9 months, the 9-month compliant rule.
That must have something.
Can you go backwards?
Once Zoom says there's a minimum version, you cannot run a lesser version.
No, but I mean, I just updated right now. Can I go back to the previous version?
Yeah, you can right now. Yeah.
And how would you do that?
But Frank, I'm not sure about that because it said, I remember reading in the release notes, they said that once you make this, I think it said once you make this change, you can't go back.
Oh, that's right. I don't know. You're
There was
right.
something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And the other thing is, if
after this, let me just say, Roland, we're coming to you next. After this, sorry, he has his hand up.
Tamara, this is a really good assumption for us when we think of looking at it now. But if someone's got an auto update set, then he'll jump onto this version anyway, and we'll be stuck with that person.
Yeah. Lois, let me just get Roland in real quick, and then I'll swing back to you. Go ahead, Roland.
Oh, just for Tamara again, it's worse on Windows. Windows, you have no choice. You have to go back to the app.
No. Womp, womp, womp.
Womp, womp. Yeah. Thank you so much, Roland, for that. Let's get oh goodness. Wait a second. Now I have to switch that back again. Let's do Lois, and you may do Fred first.
I'm gone.
Oh, you're gone. Don't be gone, Fred.
No, I mean my hand's down.
Okay.
I was just going to say, I must have changed something in my home screen settings because every time I launch Zoom, it automatically goes out and finds a new version. I don't have a choice. So
you can uncheck that, by the way.
No, I'm guessing that I can uncheck that. It's probably on the.
Are you the owner of your Zoom account, or does your organization own your Zoom account?
I only have one.
Okay, because I can, as an admin, I can make sure that you do whatever I want you to do.
But you can't put us backwards.
No, I don't think you're allowed to go back.
Depends.
Yeah.
What I would say, Lois, if you're super curious about this, and you don't have to, obviously, I'm not going to do it, is uninstall Zoom and try and install a lower version. See if it's possible.
Well, but I've made so many modifications to the Zoom.
If you don't clear your cache, none of that should, the Zoom cache, none of that should get lost.
Okay, well, it is a test kitchen, so I'll be the guinea pig and I'll see you all later.
Well, don't do it today. Do it some other, do it on Christmas Eve when you're bored.
No, Christmas Eve, I'm going to be on the rundown.
No, that's Christmas night. Real quick note that when you are screen sharing like I am now, your share button does turn green, but it's not the full fill green that we had before. It's an outline green. So we do have that. I know that we were upset about the
But
that's
you
from
can't use it if you're sharing. What's the
What do you
point
mean you
of
can't
being
use it?
green if you can't click on it?
Just get a green Sharpie and color on your screen.
Right. It's just indicating that your share is active. And that, I mean, that sort of makes sense, right? That to have the share button be a full green when you're not sharing, yes, it draws your attention to it, but it could be misleading. So now it changes color when you're actively sharing, which I understand everyone's frustration, but it kind of makes sense. By the way, that's just give credit where credit is due. That's from Ray Hardwood, who's watching on YouTube. Thank you, Ray. Go ahead, Frank.
I wanted to ask you a question last week, and you had left, so I'm going to ask you this week. A week from today is Boxing Day. Is there a Boxing Day Zoom Test Kitchen?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's good to know. I'm not saying I'll be here or not, but it's good to know.
I don't know.
How many people do anything for Boxing Day? I mean, it's
I
like,
don't even know what Boxing Day is.
oh, it's
What's
the day
Boxing
after
Day?
Christmas when you box things up and you take them to your.
That's not what Boxing Day stands for. Anyway,
What is it, Frank? Tell us.
Boxing Day is an old English tradition where the servants and the masters switched roles for the day. Anyways,
really, I like that.
I thought it was
Boxing
giving
Day.
out boxes.
Boxing Day is December 26th, which is next Friday. So will there be a Zoom Test Kitchen next?
There will be, but as the master, I will not be leading it. You will.
As the master.
So the master.
Well, that would be Mike then.
Well, no, he's not the servant.
Well, I'm certainly not the servant.
That's good stuff. Yeah, I'll be here. Whoever wants to come, by all means, join me.
I'm sure there'll be all kinds of Zoom updates between now and Boxing Day.
Oh my. Oh my.
Hey,
the
Andy's
rumor,
here.
the rumor mill is actually stirring with that what Frank just said actually might come true. The rumor mill is generating that, by the way.
What? Wait,
Frank, one more time.
No, it's you're the lead person on the breaking news.
Oh,
you
yes,
tell your story.
right. I'm leading the boxing stuff now, right?
There
so
is
officially,
a delayed update, which may happen in sort of 6 or 7 days.
6 or 7.
Yeah, delayed. Yeah. There's a delayed update that may be around in 6 or 7 days.
Usually, when there's a major update, there's going to be like a patch release pretty quickly after one. There's always some bugs when you make a major release, right?
But are we talking about the delayed update of that exciting double-ended feature we were talking about last week? Is that yeah? Okay, so just so everyone knows, and then Fred, I'll shoot it over to you. That there was a little bit of confusion, and again, thank you to Ray for kind of tracking a lot of this down. But so we saw some release notes about double-ended recording, which means that if I'm interviewing someone, my voice and video is recorded locally on my machine. Their voice and video is recorded locally on their machine. Both of those are then uploaded to Zoom Cloud, where I can then grab them and edit them in post and things like that, which is very exciting. Apparently, it was pulled, or it looked like it was pulled. And that's how we interpreted it. We were then told by Andy that it wasn't pulled, that in fact the release notes were just put out as they shouldn't have been put out. And they have nothing to announce as of right now. So the official word from Zoom is that there's nothing to announce. We don't know anything. The unofficial word is that it's been delayed a little bit and we'll see it soon. And our lips are sealed. Yeah.
Don't think so.
No?
No. It is going to happen, but it's going to happen in a phased way. So it wasn't supposed to be released, but they are working on it and it will appear in a phased way. They're not just going to open up to the world. They're going to create it and then they're going to phase it in. So it will take.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think the official word from
could take 6 or 7
the official
weeks.
word from Zoom, at least through Andy, is that they have nothing to announce right now. But maybe they've said something in the back that I don't know about.
Sorry, what is the name of this new functionality?
Super awesome double-ended make Tamra happy function.
I'm just asking because you know if it's called local record, we already have a local record, which is something completely
No,
different.
I think it was studio recording
Yeah.
or something like that.
Robert, I sent myself the document. I'll put it in the chat. Just let me find it.
Thanks.
Fred, go ahead.
I was going to
Hi,
ask
Andy, by the way.
where Mike got that thing from. Where do you find those things? Yes, where are they at?
Well, that's AI.
So you're talking about 6.7? This
Yeah.
6.7 video? Actually, this is actually came from Giphy, and then I actually made it into a looping video.
Okay, I thought when we started the meeting, you said it's something new in version 6.7, and I thought maybe it was like some emojis somewhere that we could find someplace.
Oh, I'm sure David's continuing on. There's more toys hiding in there still. We still haven't hit them all yet.
Good. Ray is also saying that the SDK will eventually be based on 6.7. I imagine he said that referring Mike back to how quickly do we need to update? Maybe. I know that so
and on top of that too, some of the things that are like right now. Again, everything will be right now. Zoom ISO and Zoom OSC is not 6.7.
Right.
Based, right?
And
So-
eCam and vMix integration and Mimo integration. Yeah, all those. Yep.
Correct. That's again on the higher end. Once 6.7 SDK is out, then everybody should be all the different vMixes, eCams, Mimo Lives. Everybody will be updating into that too.
And they get those out pretty quickly. Those I've been actually surprised at how quickly those APIs are updated, or SDKs are updated. Sorry, I always.
No, there's both. Yeah, there's APIs and SDKs that definitely have to be upgraded.
Yeah.
They have to because they base the standard client on those SDKs.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It looks like Andy's
Good,
here.
Robert.
If you wanted to ask him about that thing.
Say again.
So it looks like Andy's here. If somebody Tamara wanted to beat him up a little bit.
That's a different Andy.
It's a different Andy, and I wouldn't want to beat up any of them.
Don't beat me up, please.
What I would like is for them to remember when the website came on and we couldn't sign on to it, and then they did fix that problem. I just am hoping that we just add that settings right back into the little shield so that those of us who like that advanced setting and need it could just open that big window again. It's not too late. Like I still love Zoom.
That's not going to happen unless they get enough feature requests.
Okay, so
how do you make a feature request, Frank?
The easiest way is from the Zoom client if it's still in there.
They're like, we don't want your feature request. We've taken it away. No.
But that's actually interesting. I wonder if it's still in there because I bet you it's in the. It's not. John saying. I bet you it's in the main settings, which no one
Send
can get
feedback.
to anymore. Yeah.
The feature request facility is only limited to those people with special needs, special access, or pay large amounts of money to Zoom.
Well, you can send it as feedback though.
But you can go into the community forums and you can send it through there.
I mean, I'm willing to send brownies, guys. Like,
No,
I'm really.
Here's Tamara.
What kind of
all I would
brownies,
suggest-
Tamara?
Pardon?
What kind of brownies?
I will send whatever kind Zoom would like in order to get that big settings back in the Zoom shield. You just tell me where to send them. I don't make them from
you know
scratch.
What, Tamara? You know what, Tamara? I wonder. We'll see if this is borne out. I wonder if it isn't easier, perhaps, even to say to folks, all right, to get to settings, click on Zoom Workplace in the top left and click settings.
So it is if you're working with Mac people.
As opposed to click on the green shield, then click on the cogwheel, right? You can actually use words.
But that's great if you're working on Mac. When you're working, so I have customer service where people come in and there's multiple users of different kinds in a meeting. So being able to say to everyone in my customer service area, go to the green shield and go to the setting, then it doesn't matter. Oh, you're on a Mac and you're on a PC and you're on this, we'll go here. It just is easier.
Right. Okay. So it's cross-platform accessibility.
Again, homemade brownies.
Check
offer
the
that.
chat, Tamara. I showed you how to send feedback to Zoom.
Thank you.
What menu is that under, Frank? I can't see.
So
Do you know?
not the meeting window, but the actual main Zoom client, it's
Yep.
in the help. The whole picture's there if you just follow the path
All right, I'm going
from your
there.
user profile picture down to the help menu, down to the
Oh, that was
send
my
feedback.
question. I wasn't sure what you clicked
Yeah,
on
yeah.
at the top. Okay. So if you all take a look over here, this is, there we go. Now it's working again. Click on the profile picture, go down to help, and then Zoom community or Zoom support.
Is Zoom
I have the
Community
same
new
thing.
in there? I don't know that Zoom Community used to be there before. Maybe it was. I just didn't notice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there
I
is,
have the same
I don't
thing,
have
so-
a give feedback though. You have a
No,
give
yeah.
feedback.
Yeah, it's
You may
Yeah,
have to
I
turn
have
it
the
on
same
in
thing.
your. You may have to turn it on in your main account somewhere.
I don't have give
I have-
feedback. I have
As an
report a
admin?
problem. This feels
Yeah,
like a
I have that
problem
too.
to me.
I have everything turned on.
I love
I think
report a
it-
problem. That's
yeah,
such
I-
a great tool.
I
it is.
think it has to do with how much you pay them, whether or not you can give feedback.
Now, I pay them a lot of money. So
No, but do you with this new account that you just started?
But I think you
this isn't
you
a
have
new
to
account.
enable send feedback from the admin thing.
Yeah, I have everything enabled.
From the
Should
admin
be-
portal?
Should
Yeah,
be enabled.
if you don't see it, I think you have to turn it on. I think anybody can send feedback to Zoom as long as it's enabled. I don't think you need to have a special account for that.
I am not getting there from
So,
mine.
so one of the things that a lot of high tech companies do, and so does Zoom, is the more they hear about something, the more likely they are to prioritize it because they work in sprints, software sprints, and they have a million things they have to do or want to do, but things will be moved up if enough people are outraged or make a fuss, right? But if they don't hear about it, they're not gonna. It's gonna be very low priority.
There are 16 of us in this meeting. Everybody go.
Okay, I have feedback to Zoom turned on.
Oh.
Okay. And you don't see it?
John
Nope.
says it's not the same. It's a feature request.
Yeah, they're two different things. Feature
I
request is
have to
different than a feedback.
request to
No,
give
there's-
feedback.
No, there's two different things. There's something called a feature request where you have to write a business case why it would be beneficial to you and others. And then
No,
there's
that's not what
feedback.
we're talking about.
I know, but
No.
I'm just distinguishing. There's two separate things.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'm just saying I don't have the option to give feedback, but I have it turned on, so I'm not sure what to do about it.
I think we can just report it as a problem. Hey, it seems like you forgot the thing in there. It's a problem.
Usually they'll kill
I
those tickets
can't
with
find-
working as designed or working
I
as
know.
intended.
Yeah.
Because people love to close tickets whenever they can because they get millions of them.
Yeah.
I do like the like streamlined bottom. I think that's great. I like the pop out menus. I just don't like that some of the stuff has been a little too streamlined.
I
or that
really
there's just not access.
I agree with you, and it would be so easy for them to fix if they would just let us all have a setting in our general settings, advanced, and check boxes. We want these things on. Have
Right.
them all off by default, and normal people will never have to see or be bothered with this.
Yep.
But at least for people like us, we could coach our clients. Hey, go into your settings, turn this stuff on, and for the rest of the meetings, I'll be able to help you.
Right. Right.
Right. mean,
I also just think like they didn't get rid of this multi-settings thing. It still exists. So just not being able to access it in the meeting, it should be easy to add that to just be somewhere where you can access the whole thing.
So Hasmuk just sent a screenshot in the chat saying that you can also get to feedback from the help menu, which I am now looking at and do not see the option to give feedback. So I think it's personal. I think they don't like me. I can give feedback. Interestingly, I can give feedback to Apple about Zoom. I just can't give feedback to Zoom about Zoom. So there's got to be something that maybe, I don't know, isn't turned on or.
That's
I
it.
don't know.
That's interesting because I get to it from the all the way at the top where it says Zoom replace meeting view edit window help.
Yeah, that's where I am now.
I have give feedback sitting there.
I don't.
And
I don't.
Also
Neither
have,
do
and
I.
also have report a problem.
Peter, are you on a Mac or PC?
I'm on a Mac.
I'm
Really
on a Mac.
interesting. I don't have it either.
I don't have it on either of mine. So, and I'm
Yeah.
on both meetings at the same time. One is on the old and one is on 6.7.
That's really pretty interesting, actually. I wonder why.
But you're on the beta OS, right?
They don't want our feedback directly. It's you and me, David.
On one computer I'm on beta, the other one I'm not, and I don't have it on either.
Tamara,
I don't have it on
I
either.
think you could follow my suggestion in chat. You might solve that problem for yourself.
Amazing. I am.
Oh, wait a second. I lied. Hold on. Okay. On the
Spotlight?
machine that's running beta, I don't have it. On the
Well,
machine that's not running beta, I do have it from the help menu. But now let me see if I have it from the
I'm
the-
running
in the
the
Zoom
same
thing.
beta you are on this machine, David. So there's some level of interesting inconsistency.
Wait, you're running beta 26.3?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
I have the answer.
I love it.
I was right. You have to enable feedback in your account. I'm putting the link in the chat right now.
All right. I love this. And thank you for the feedback form.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what this reminds me of is, for those who go back far enough in office hours, remember when we first started getting the small switchers? And if you hooked Zoom in, well, in my case, I had a DeckLink card in my PC, and it would give you every possible setting for each each port on the DeckLink card. So you'd go, which resolution would you like? You had to read down each one, and they finally simplified it down to, do you want DeckLink card one, port 1, 2, 3, or 4? And it would just pick the best one.
I have so many Zoom accounts though.
Are they part of an organizational license?
Not yet. I'm moving them.
You can consolidate them, but yeah, it's an admin setting at the top level, and then if you allow individual users, they can turn it off or on. It depends how you set up your preferences globally first.
Where I was, general, other, allow users to share feedback. It's turned on.
Yeah, so that means at the very top level, right? But then in your personal settings, is it also turned on? You have to turn it on in both places, right? That's my guess, anyways.
Let's see.
But
General,
whenever you're on beta, I
other.
don't,
Oh my Lord. God, that's frustrating. Okay. Okay, we're gonna title today's show "User Error" by David. That's the title of today's show. Oh my God.
Not really. I mean, if a clever guy like you is having problems, imagine the average user.
Yeah.
It could be
Thank
easier,
you for
right?
trying to make me feel better. I appreciate that.
PBCK?
Hepcac?
I just wanted to
No,
blame David for using a personal meeting ID. That was why, because that normally is the problem, right, David?
With everything.
There's
everything that's the
I saw
problem.
some changes to personal meeting IDs. They're letting people do a couple more things.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's
it's still a
exciting.
bad
Hold on.
idea. It's still a bad idea.
Okay.
What
Let's
else
go
are they
in
adding,
here.
letting them do?
I can't even remember what it was. I've read so many Zoom things in the last week. I just remember there's one or two little things more you can do in a Zoom meeting or a personal meeting.
So
now.
here's
It's in their release notes.
Show. It looks like the only thing that looks really new to me is the which has been popping up recently, is the allow the alternative host to manage this meeting's assets as co-owner after the meeting. But this is also true for all co-hosts. Co-hosts now, when you start a meeting now, or when you make someone co-host now, you get a pop-up that says, hey, do you want to share the assets, this meeting's assets with this person? What is this? Select who should go into the waiting room. This is new, I think.
No,
so
it's
under
been there for a
wait,
while. It's been there.
Yeah, it's been there for a while.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's new for some of us. How about telling us
Yeah.
what it is, David?
Yeah, what does that
Yeah.
mean?
So usually, I thought it was just either everyone goes to the waiting room or not. Now you can select who goes to the waiting room. So everyone, users not in your account, users who are not in your account and not part of your whitelisted domains, or users not on the meeting invite. Or follow the web portal setting, which I assume is what you do over here. Meeting.
Just use the search; it's faster. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what am I
Waiting
doing?
room.
The
Waiting
wait.
room.
Thank you. Sorry. Enable waiting room. Waiting room options. Yeah, everyone will go into the waiting room. Edit options. Oh, so I haven't seen this actually. So this is even here. So this is the web settings, the web portal settings. So you can set it here, or you can set it for your personal meeting, or presumably for a scheduled meeting that you're doing. Users invited during the meeting by the host or co-host will bypass the waiting room. Allow participants in the waiting room to reply to hosts and co-hosts. Well, I definitely want that. Oh, this is one of those. Okay. So this is one of those settings where you're going to force everyone who joins your meeting to upgrade their client.
Mhm.
And if they don't upgrade that's why I don't have it on. If they don't upgrade their client, they won't be able to join your meeting. And if hosts and co-hosts are not present, move participants to the waiting room if the host drops unexpectedly, or move participants to the waiting room if the host leaves during the meeting.
David, when you said that there's an option for you to force people to update, does it say you get to choose update to what, or is it just to the current?
Zoom
question,
usually
Frank.
makes you update to the current version.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And you would definitely have to update to a version that was compatible with whatever the meeting's hosts' requirements were. So, for example, sorry.
No, please.
If you're using a feature that has a minimum requirement, let's say emojis or something, and you want to join the meeting, then you have to be at least on a version that supports emojis, or you're not going to get into the meeting. For one specific example of a feature.
One thing that it looks like new is sort the order of people in the waiting room in your participants panel. You can now sort them this is only available on 5.10.3, which is quite an old version.
Really old, yeah.
Yeah, or later. You can do join order or alphabetical. If everyone always joined with their real name, alphabetical would be helpful. But so many people would join meetings as iPhone or, this, that, or the other thing. I don't find alphabetical to be particularly helpful most of the time. Tony, go ahead.
Tony,
you're on mute. Wait, hold up your shirt, Robert. There we go.
Okay. I'm just curious to what the idea is behind this for, as Tamara has been saying, for regular people. This I had a comment last Sunday, and that was even before the update on Monday. Why is Zoom changing things? This doesn't have to be hard. And so I'm just asking. I know that innovation is important, but in terms of your basic users, what's the rationale?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was on mute. Go ahead, Frank. I apologize.
I don't work for Zoom, so I'm not going to be able to give you the official answer, but based on the statements they've released about this, Zoom feels that simplifying the user experience will be beneficial in the long term, and that the new UI will allow them to add more functionality in the coming months. So they've probably been doing focus groups and, research on their tickets they receive, and that Zoom's too hard to use for regular people. And they want to unify what it's like on the web, so that when you're on a web, like browser-based version versus a session in the client versus a session in iOS or Android, it all seems more familiar to you, because using it on an iPad always feels very alien to me, or on my iPhone, because I don't do it often enough, and it's so different from the desktop experience. So I think Zoom for a long time has been trying to simplify and unify the user experience across all their different platforms.
I love
let's
that.
actually-
And if they could
sorry.
unify that shield and put the thing back in so that both PC and Mac could get the same experience, that would be amazing.
So I'm trying to join this meeting from the browser. It's not really letting me.
So I think a distinction has to be made that we're talking about UX and UI, not necessarily feature sets. I don't believe that a browser-based session will ever be fully functional compared to a desktop app session.
537. So I'm trying to join this meeting from the browser so we can see what the experience is. So no, see, I didn't want to do that. I don't want the browser. I mean, I don't want the app to open. I don't even see an option to.
So they said in January the web experience would get updated. So it won't be there yet, David. They said it's sometime next month.
But I can't even join from the web. Maybe because I have the Workplace app installed, maybe it's forcing me into that.
There's a setting in
if you have your work, the page that comes up, you should be able to scroll down and it will give you the option to join from the browser.
Yeah, I don't
You
have
have to be quick.
That's it.
You
Yeah.
have to be quick.
And you actually have to have it has to fail once.
You also have to have it enabled in your global settings.
And you must cross your legs right over left.
And say 6, 7 many, many times. We need a 6, 7 counter. I want to know how many times you've shown that so far. I was trying to keep track, but I've lost count.
Could you spotlight, please?
Yep, I'll get him spotlight. Mr. Preskin, momentarily.
Sorry, I'm not even.
There we go.
Browser.
Join from browser.
So I have that on. Look at that. But that's in my personal settings. Let me check these.
But that's actually to the participants. If you go back to what you were showing, it says allow participants.
Oh, maybe you can't host a meeting. Maybe you can't.
Of course, you're going to host a meeting from a browser.
I'm trying to join.
Yeah. So,
so wait. So the question is, hold on. The question is, do I have this enabled in the host account?
Yes, that would be the pertinent question.
Let me check that real quick and see.
if I'm just participating, I may have to turn off my Zoom Workplace app and then join from the browser so that it doesn't automatically help me by joining through the Workplace app.
So we turned that off. I actually remember. So thank you. So that's turned off. So now let's go to join.zoom.us and no, sorry, that's the wrong code. Okay. And here we go. Now, this has been happening to me, by the way. I don't know why this is happening. It opens up my Finder window. Like, what exactly am I saving here? I don't even know. Oh, it downloaded. That's interesting. Huh. It downloads the Zoom installer.
Yep.
Because you're trying to get in on a browser and it's
me
going,
asking it to.
oh, you
Right.
should have the real thing.
So there it is. Join from your boy. They really are pushing you into, which I appreciate. I'm not,
And you weren't quick enough, right? So it went into your.
No, I got it. No.
You got it. Oh, good.
This is in the browser. So I'm not gonna, just because I don't want to screw up. There we go.
It is in the browser, but it doesn't come up the first time. Like when I had to talk people through it, I'm like, okay, now click it again and then like start it and stop it. And then it gave it an opportunity to show that.
Never seen that.
Its first opportunity is to
If
download.
you have a Zoom account, you can go to the web client. I think it's zoom.us/WC. We'll bring up the actual web client where you can put a Zoom ID and password in to join a meeting. Just like you do in the desktop.
.us/WC.
I think that's what it was.
Yep.
Oh, look at
there it
that.
is.
Look at that. Join. Is this, Andy, is this different than the, it doesn't look like it.
I think it
it's
logs
the same
in.
exact thing.
It's the same exact thing. This just allows you to essentially have a web client instead of just joining the meeting from the web.
Right.
So
now where's my meeting? Am I in the meeting anymore? No, I'm not. So let me join again. Zoom.us. I'm going to go to meet, join your meeting. And again, this is just to kind of get a sense of what the desktop experience is. No. Join from my browser.
and I haven't tried. I don't know if you have the setting turned off for joining from web, if you can still join with the web client, or if that's just presenting that on that web page that pops up as you try to use the URL to join the meeting. Does that make sense? Like I'm not sure if it's going to restrict you. If the setting was still off before you turn it on, if you could still join with a web client, I don't know.
Well, I just did. I mean,
Okay.
I just toggled it on, and now the web client. So this is the old experience, right? We got the old share screen button at the bottom here, the old AI companion, but I mean, all these icons are the old ones, as opposed to. Did I leave?
And you've
Oh,
got
I
a
left
green
the-
shield.
and a green shield, right? I left it on the app. I'm sorry about that.
So there's how Tamara can get to the
Yeah.
green shield is not use Zoom.
Actually, no. You know what? No, the green shield. There's no gear.
Yeah, and the settings in that client only have general audio, video, and chat. Still can't get my.
This is
Well, guys, I
fascinating.
hate to run, but I gotta take off. I'll see you
Bye,
guys later.
Andy. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
Sure, give us something new and then run away.
It's interesting. Some of this looks updated, some of it doesn't.
Next month.
Like the. Oh, right. Yeah. What is this pop out? What is playing picture in picture? What did I just do?
It allows you, David, to surf and still be in the Zoom meeting. So go to another web page.
GoTuring.com is a good web page.
Still should be.
Oh.
It should still. Did it not keep it?
No.
Interesting. Because the picture in picture should officially allow you to surf, and it just puts it in its own.
I clicked the back button and it brought me right back to it. So it logged me right back in. But so there's pop out. What I think that just means, can you just move this around? You can move it around. But I'm not entirely sure what the value of.
Then David, try opening another tab in that browser, and then you should be able to stay in there and surf.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't that true all the time? Oh, that's what it is. Okay. So you okay. This is just like the YouTube pop out. So great. So I can now keep
it's a browser.
You have to you have to keep this page open, but I can now switch to another page and basically
Right. So it's equivalent to if you ever minimize your Zoom app when you're in a meeting.
Right.
How you have that window. That's what it's basically giving you.
Right.
I don't see the purpose, since they're both the same thing. When he changes the big one, the little one makes it the same.
That's because he's screen sharing. If it was a normal person, he could have the Zoom open in the little window and he could be on I Love Cats or something in the big window.
Okay.
Lois,
need you to
watch. And what I'll do is, David, stay like that. Keep it like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to spotlight Lois instead of you. And then you'll see that. And now if you take a look at David's window, that's what you'd normally see. Right? So let me also add him as a spotlight. So this is so everybody can see that, right?
So this is for the viewer, not the sharer.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, wait. That's interesting. I hadn't thought of that. This is essentially a different type of screen share, a different way to screen share.
You're not screen sharing.
No, I am. I mean, I'm
No,
not.
You're not.
No, I'm not, but I am.
No.
Yes. Because you can now.
We're seeing you because you're
Oh.
spotlit.
Oh, right. But that's what I'm saying. So if I spotlight myself and I want to bring up a browser tab, I can do it like this. I don't need to even screen share.
How did you get to having the picture in picture?
Yeah, I'll show you. Let me just get back. Can you just spotlight me, please?
Yeah.
So up in the top right,
As
again,
as you disappear into infinity.
Yeah, no, I'm fixing that. So on the top right, I've got view, and then I've got two other buttons. I've got pop out and I've got minimize. Now, I don't have either of those in the app. I don't know if someone can confirm. There's no pop out. There's no minimize. Right. So when I click pop out, excuse me, it automatically puts my Zoom meeting down here, and the active speaker, I guess. You can't change when you're down here. You can't change the gallery view. You just get the active speaker or whoever's spotlit. And then I can, up here in my browser, do whatever I want. So if I spotlight myself now, which I am, again, because of the way I'm sharing, it doesn't really work well. But me as a speaker, well, actually, wait, can I? No, see, it just shows up for you. No, I'm wrong. Again,
You
this
can double
week's
spotlight
show
if you
title.
want.
No, this week's show title is David Screws Up Zoom. No, I'm the only one who sees it. Forget it. It's so that I can. It's basically, you know what it's for? It's so that I can be in a meeting but do something else.
Correct.
Better show title. Even the best chefs burn the cookies.
I like that one. And appropriate for our holiday.
No, brownies, not cookies.
You don't burn
Really? You want brownies, not cookies?
No. So
Go ahead, Lois. Go ahead.
may I switch topics? I actually have a Zoom question.
But this whole thing has been Zoom. What is that supposed to mean?
But there wasn't questions. It was experiments. Okay, so here's the question. I'm using Zoom Workplace. I'm on a Mac. I open my little window and there's the three blue things and the orange one. You know, you're all familiar with what that looks like. I click on the one that says join and up pops a little window. It has a place where I can type in a number and there's a little downward pointing arrow. If I click at that, I see the last 10 places that I was. And I can click on any of them and it'll immediately go there. This is wonderful. Can you save that history? Is there some way that you can save it so that you can get it back later?
Yes.
How?
There is. I'll show you. It's called screenshot. You click.
And then how do you get it
special
back,
buttons,
David? Yeah.
And you make a screenshot of it. But otherwise, no. And boy, Lois, do I wish there were. Or to be able to pin meetings there. I would love to be able to pin meetings there.
Especially
so that I always have them. Like office hours. I would love to be able to pin that there. Absolutely.
It has to be your last 10 things, though. And it's like sometimes it gets off the end of the list. Sometimes when I click on one of those, it immediately goes in. Sometimes when I click on one of those, it says, type in your passcode. But when I originally went in there, I didn't have a passcode. So I don't know what the passcode is. So is there a way to get the passcode along with the ID? Any ideas? I mean, I'm going to open the green shield and take a picture, except now it's over in the eye and take a picture.
Only
But
once you're in the meeting, as far as I know. That's how I always do
So
it when I want
there's
to
a
share it with somebody.
couple of concepts you're discussing. One is John probably be smarter about this than me. Those things are stored somewhere in the Zoom application, but in cache. But I mean, as soon as you get to 11, it's going to erase the oldest one. So, but usually when you get a Zoom invitation, there's two ways you can send a Zoom invitation. One is I send you the link and I send you the passcode. But you can also send links with the passcode embedded in the link, and those are usually obscured. Zoom does some trickery so you can't see the actual passcode. It's hashed or whatever. Those, no, not really. So you could ask the meeting host via email, can I have the link and keep a notepad file open? But you're not going to be able to do it in Zoom itself.
But when you get an invitation, you an email invitation from Zoom, you will get both the link and the meeting ID and password separately.
No,
It depends
most
how the
people just
host
send
chooses to
the
share
link.
it.
Yeah.
Like if they copy the invitation and they say, "Oh, that's way too much text. I'm just going to send you
of
a
course,
link with a
yes.
passcode embedded," then
Yeah.
that's
No,
all
of
you've
course,
got, right?
of course.
So then
And
once I
Lois-
get into the meeting, I have to look for and write down someplace else the passcode along with the meeting ID.
And
Thank you very much.
right, because the list that you're talking about. So here's the list that she's talking about. When you go into join meeting, this is fantastic. It does not store those links and it does not store the passcodes.
That's
So
right.
all it stores, and you can see it right there. All it stores is the meeting ID. So, yeah.
Yeah, what I end up doing is, again, if I'm using Zoom ISO, one of the commands that I can do through my companion, copy of companion, is actually say, there is a join meeting command for Zoom ISO, which prompts you lets you put in the meeting ID, the password, and what name you want to use.
That actually is, I'm glad you said that, companion, because I do that also, and it's fantastic. Let me show you real quick. So I have, bear with me for a moment, meeting actions. So I have, this is like my meeting actions page, and basically, I've got join Zoom Test Kitchen, join this, join that, and I just press this one button on my Stream Deck, and it joins the meeting.
Right.
It's fantastic. So if you're on a Mac and if you're using Zoom OSC, building and this is where you put the information right over here. You can even give yourself a name. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Really, really wonderful. Yeah. And I need to update. I haven't updated in a while.
Thank you. I'm done. Moving on to Hasmuk.
Actually, I wanted to give you one more way to do it.
Okay.
You know the more button?
Yeah.
It depends how you've got your toolbar set up. There's a button called meeting info. I have mine
in the meeting or out of the meeting?
Yeah, in the meeting. Yeah,
In
that
the
won't
meeting.
work. But
Okay.
so if you're saying that you want to revisit these meetings while you're in the meeting, if you go into the meeting info button, there's a copy. There's a copy link button in there.
Yeah.
Yep. The two overlapping squares.
Yeah. Of course, if I can do that and I can see that, I'll just copy the passcode, the meeting ID, and stick it on sticky. And there we are.
When in the meeting, you can save the link from participants? From the participants panel, you mean, John?
No.
No.
Yeah, when you click on participants, the little up arrow, you've got invite and copy invite link. And that copy invite link is the encoded link with your meeting and the URL and your password.
Gotcha. Thank you. Not from the panel itself, from the arrow next to it, right?
Yeah.
You've got invite. You can also copy it with a hotkey. Command for Mac, I can't tell what that is. An I? I think it's an I, but I can't really tell. I'm sorry. Command I or Command Shift I for copy invite link.
Well, the Command I gives you a window to invite people, and it has people you can choose from, send them contacts, send them email, all that stuff.
Yep. But then Command Shift will just copy the invitation so you can paste it to wherever you want. Okay. I'm updating Companion as we speak because.
Oh, look at that. We're out of time. See you next week. Kidding. Kidding.
Hasmuk. Can we do Hasmuk next?
Oh, we should definitely do Hasmuk.
So, just coincidental maybe, I updated my iPhone. So I looked last week and I looked at the version of the iOS Zoom app, and that was 6.611. And on my new iPhone, it says 6.7.1. So I'm not sure if
There was a
that's
special
relevant.
update for Mac today.
Mm-hmm.
The 6.7 on iOS had issues, and they had to release a bug patch.
I was just wondering between 6.7 here and 6.7 on the iPhone. If there was
Yeah, on
any
the iPhone they
relevance.
released 6.7.1 because when they let 6.7 out of the can, it was buggy.
Okay.
Let me actually, I'm going to join from my phone. We can see what that experience looks like. At least I hope we can. If you could let that person in.
Yes, I did,
Just
Mr.
give me
Paskin. You're not a
just
bomber.
moment.
I'll be back.
I'm not going to join audio, and I will turn my camera off because there's no reason to look at me. And we'll go like this. Okay. So this is the meeting experience. You can turn on or off. Oh, I should do this. Sorry. You can turn on or off whether your toolbar stays on there. If I click on, oh, these are tiny targets. Okay, so if I click on the live button, it tells me the content of this meeting is being sent to YouTube. If I click next to that, that's the AI companion. I mean, these targets, like for my fat fingers, this is apps that access meeting content, and then the shield brings up just a few different options, actually. From the top, I get all the meeting information. And there's companion. So down here at the bottom, so again, they kind of changed the way this looks. Yeah, and this matches the experience on desktop much more. Notes. It's actually, I actually like the way this. I've never really joined on my, and if I do join on my phone, I don't often use these things, but this is actually, I'm really liking how it's kind of sliding up from the bottom, and keeping my meeting right on top. That's actually a really nice experience. Is that new or no?
It seems like a much more useful UI than we had before.
Yeah,
I agree.
Before things would just disappear out from underneath you as you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great update.
Wait a second. Why didn't that switch? Oh, shoot. Hold on a second. Sorry. I want to show you the horizontal experience. Here we go.
That sounds kind of dirty, David.
Sorry about that.
Next time I'm on a date, hey, I'd like to show you the horizontal experience. My wife did not like that comment.
So when you are looking landscape, it slides up and takes over the whole screen. It's funny because when I always default to landscape just because I've been trained by office hours to never do anything vertically, but and then here's this actually feels quite familiar to me. This one, it's really the vertical experience that to me feels a little different. Oh, now I'm frozen. There we go. Yeah, so that's I think that's pretty much it for the mobile experience. Unless you guys think I'm missing anything. Oh, nice. Okay. And that's mobile. Hey, Robert.
Yeah, I'm struggling with my camera today, so don't bother about the black screen. But I'm just thinking, when we oh, now my camera's gone really weird. When we have someone that we're trying to assist, what's the easiest way now to find out what version of Zoom he's on?
Are they part of your organization?
No.
No. Ask them.
Yeah, how do we ask them to check?
How do they know to tell? Right.
On Mac, it's about Zoom. Same as every other Mac application. On Windows, it'd probably be in Help, right? Usually your version number's in Help, I think, in most Windows apps.
Mac, it's still the same. Go to Zoom Workplace and then check for updates.
Yeah, you can just go about this app, though, like Zoom. About Zoom Workplace. Apple. This is the standard convention for Mac. I'll let a Windows expert answer the Windows way, but pretty sure it's Help usually.
I'd be a bit weary asking them to check for updates because I will throw them.
Well,
into
unless
the
you're using
6.7.
ISO or something, like there's no, how are you gonna know, right? Like they have to tell you somehow. But
Yeah, without the settings, you have to go back to the app again, and basically, as Frank said, on the help about this app.
Yeah, the same thing on Windows. When you click on your profile picture, you get the drop down, you go to Help, About, tells you.
Okay. Need to change my thinking mode on this one.
So there is one other way, Robert. As an admin, I can go into the dashboard. I don't know if you guys have this, like on Enterprise. I have this. As a Zoom admin, I can go into the dashboard and see every live meeting, and I can see every client attached to any meeting I want to look at, and I can see their client version in there. But I don't know if you have that if you're not an Enterprise account. I've never not had an Enterprise account.
You can, as long as it's a Business Pro account.
Okay. So that would be probably the easiest way, Robert, is to open a new window or be on a different computer. Go to admin section of your Zoom account if you're hosting the meeting, or someone on one of your licenses is hosting the meeting, and then go to the dashboard and look at the live meetings, type in the meeting ID, and you'll be able to see everybody who's connected to that meeting, and it usually tells you what client version and number they're on.
Plus a whole bunch of other stuff.
Oh yeah, all kinds of great stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you.
I use that for troubleshooting all the time.
I think David's wrapping presents. I heard a lot of tape being spewed while you were talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's patching everything.
Yeah.
All right. And we'll do some shout outs to YouTube. We got Tulloch that just joined us on YouTube. Happy Hanukkah, Tulloch. And we've got Good Clicks, Ray Harwood on YouTube. And let's see who else we got here. We've got Hershey Bar, I think was there too. And Tony Mobley, who's joining us in both locations, is also on YouTube. So check us out. And of course, if you're still watching us on YouTube and you've got any quote unquote 6-7, yeah, that was for Frank, questions, by all means, let us know in YouTube chat and we'll do our best to answer them. Because it's a change. It's definitely a change.
I'm glad it didn't start off as a drinking game.
It is the holidays, you know. All good holiday parties have drinking games, don't they? Oh, and Mr. Paskin comes back when I'm talking about drinking. Good timing, Mr. Paskin.
What were you
L'chaim,
rapping?
as we say in the old country, l'chaim.
Right, Nazdrovya. Actually, good boy. Yeah.
Did you know A&W in America is not the same as A&W in Canada? They're two separate entities, business-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
Why is that?
Because ours tastes better. No, I don't. It's
fact, true fact. No, it's the recipes are similar. Yeah,
ours is flavor enhanced with maple syrup, though.
Everything is flavor enhanced with maple syrup in Canada, isn't it?
That's what they pump into our bloodstream at the hospital when we're wounded or sick.
Reminds me of the difference between Coke you buy in the U.S. and Coke you buy south of the border.
Corn sugar versus real
cane sugar. Yeah.
Yep.
And I meant south of the border, south of me. Because south of the border, south of you get the corn syrup.
High fructose syrup is in everything.
Yeah, including our gasoline.
Delicious. Delicious.
Is there any other Zoom extravaganzas people want to talk about? I heard a rumor this week that Zoom might use has come to some agreement with Microsoft.
Oh, NDI.
No. Well, I wasn't going to say NDI. I was going to say AVC1 codec encoding.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Oh God.
AVC or AV1, Frank?
AV1.
AV1. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, AV1. Yeah.
Codecs are how video and audio are compressed and decompressed, and there's different. I don't know what you would call them, protocols. So some protocols are more efficient than other protocols, which makes transmission bandwidth lower requirements. AV1's highly compressed. So if this is true and they all come to some sort of an agreement, that would mean that you could have less bandwidth requirements. And if they're all using the same codec, that presumably maybe you could have Zoom meetings dial straight into Teams meetings or Google Meets meetings. But I don't know, like it's rumor. I don't know if it's really happening or not.
Yeah,
I didn't get it from a reliable source.
Yeah, the AV1 codec is actually really bandwidth-wise and comparing to, so if you take the equal qualities, I'll get a little codec geeky on everybody because I've been playing with codecs for over 20 years now. So basically we have our H.264, we have our H.265 or HEVC, and now we've got the new AV1. So again, everything, so if you take a file, let's say it's 2 gig big and it's an H.264, and you take the same thing to say the same file. I'm going to be very, very generic when I say this. So 2 gig file of H.264, if you have it using the HEVC or H.265 codec, it'll go from 2 gig down to 1 gig at the same quality. Now watch again. Now we're down to 1 gig at HEVC. Now you take the HEVC and you go down to AV1 now. So now that 2 gig went down to 1 gig. Now the 1 gig is now down to half a gig.
There's trade-offs to this, though. Now your computer, either your GPU or your CPU, has to work harder to compress harder. So it's not like a miracle. Like your computer, if it's old, may not be able to do this or will struggle or use more resources. But if bandwidth is your concern, then it's a good thing.
Yeah, and file storage. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, again, if you do have the latest and greatest video cards that have AV1 capabilities, then you're already golden. So it's already built into your GPU. When it comes to a lot of the older GPUs, they'll do H.264 easily. H.265, some of them have it built in. Then AV1, again, even fewer have it built in.
We're leaving out the most important reason, and it's not the end user. It means that Zoom would have to transmit less data, which would save and store less data, which would save them a tremendous amount of money.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly why I was saying, that's why I gave the example 2 gig down to 1 gig down to half a gig. So you can imagine millions or hundreds of thousands of Zoom meetings that are now taking 2 gig now are half a gig.
Yeah. But
Right.
Mike, I would also say that not so much a Zoom thing, but if you try and upload different codecs to YouTube as an example, it can have the inverse effect at times, because it could cause YouTube to grind on something because it's not expecting it.
Correct. Yeah. And again, that's why correct. And the best thing to do is to follow YouTube's standards in their documentation, in the support documentation for any content that you do send them live or on demand, right?
I made
always stick with their stuff.
I made the mistake of doing something in AV1 and sending it to them, and it took almost 20 hours for it to appear.
Right. Just because of the fact that they went, oh, what is this?
That's right.
and again, depending on their mechanisms in place, which, I've been there, done that, because I've built content and deliver networks almost to the same scale as YouTube. So I know that, I'm getting in whatever I'm getting in. And it goes back to, as I was saying earlier this week with John, rubbish in, rubbish out, right? So again, I have to figure out what the rubbish I'm getting in. And that's what basically YouTube does to everybody that sends them content. I'm getting rubbish. Now, what can I do with this rubbish to actually make it usable on the YouTube platform? And that's what, and again, in Peter's situation, he gave it an AV1. It went, okay, I understand it's AV1, but now I have to now look at it more minuscule on not necessarily maybe frame by frame, but all of a sudden, if there was certain passages or certain high motion content, it might freak out the actual transcoder. And then all of a sudden it's just going to take that much longer for it to go, no, that doesn't look right. And again, depending on how many mechanisms are hiding in the background of YouTube's secret sauce.
Looks like Robert has a question.
Yeah, Robert, go ahead.
But just to simplify and summarize, does that mean we all going to have the same superior quality that we have in MS Teams available on Zoom?
You're very good at delivering that with a straight face, Robert.
Well,
as I mentioned, it's a rumor, so take it for what it's worth. I don't know.
Right. And to be fair to the codec, it's not the codec's fault. Okay. It's the secret sauce of manipulating the codec properly for the video, right? So you could have the codec look horrible, or you can have the codec look like you're in an IMAX theater, right? So it's all about the secret sauce in the end of making sure that transcoder hardware or software, in this case, because AV1 is so new that a lot of it will be based in software. So you're taking that, because again, as I was saying, GPUs, there are very little GPUs out there that actually will support natively on the GPU AV1 right now. But again, that doesn't mean that all of our, cores will not be able to handle AV1. But Frank's right. The older machine you have, the more sluggish it'll get, right? Because again, it's now if it's not gonna find it on the GPU, it's gonna automatically push the resources to get the AV1 to look its best off of the CPU.
So was that a yes, Mike?
If we're being hypothetical on the regards of Microsoft should know what they're doing when it comes to AV1 codec, then the official answer is that Zoomers will be better. How's that for an answer? Okay. Because they do dial in the codec very well. So I have high expectations should the AV1 codec become part of the Zoom platform. Now, again, that being said, when you get your recordings though, and if you do edit your recordings, understand that you're going to have AV1 codecs now, not 264 codecs. So that's also important to understand that your video editing software will have to take that into consideration too, to be able to understand the AV1 codec properly as well in your editing.
Yep.
Go for it, Frank.
We done with codecs?
I am.
All right. Hold on. My wife hates being on camera. So I also noticed this week, or I think it was in the last week, Zoom sort of quietly mentioned that Companion 3 is now, AI Companion 3 is now heralded as the newest iteration of their companion with a little fanfare, but didn't seem to gain much traction. I didn't hear too many people talking about that.
So the official question is for the YouTube audience and everybody in the panel, have you noticed a difference? And the more I hear crickets in the background is going to be, they haven't noticed a difference.
I noticed that it said 3.0, but I didn't notice the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other quiet announcement was their the NDI stuff for their advanced.
Yeah. So correct. So NDI Advanced is, again, it's a different flavoring of NDI. I will dig a little further to what specifics, because I know of full NDIs and I know of NDI HX. So I don't know what NDI Advanced is. I don't know if it's a hybrid between the two or not. But I will dig into that a little further when it comes to NDI Advanced. But
Sounds exciting,
NDI, yeah, the NDI full, of course, you need the actual NDI chip in your actual hardware. And the NDI HX actually is more software based on, it can actually, it can be on any type of encoder chip that you could actually run NDI HX, as long as you are licensed by VizRT to have that within your equipment.
In other news, I had a meeting with Zoom last week about Zoom, their Zoom video management platform. And I might be getting a trial account to kick the tires on that.
Do we dare ask if that is the official hub?
No,
Yeah, we had talked about that.
It's not.
at
It's
one
not
point.
the. It's not the thing that's tied to events. It's another product they have that's a whole video management solution.
Yeah,
tied,
we had
tied to Zoom.
I thought we saw that somewhere, and we had talked about that maybe it was only going to be an enterprise thing, or I don't know.
I haven't got access to it yet, but we had an hour-long meeting about it.
And my question for that, and then I do have to jump. I apologize. Is there hope that people will start really storing their videos in Zoom, sharing their videos from Zoom? Because right now it's from my perspective at least, the storage costs are just prohibitively
Not
expensive.
just Zoom, but other content you may have lying around as well.
Really? Interesting.
So this is my guess. I could be wrong. Zoom had built up all this capacity during COVID, and I'm sure they've lost some customers because a lot of organizations are saying we're back to the office. So they've got all this tremendous resources, and they're trying to find ways to take advantage of their expertise and their resources. So why not do hosting? We already know how to do hosting, and it's part of Zoom, and you could add all your other content here as well, right?
They would need to really address the cost.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Storage costs.
What they're really, what I noticed in the meeting was all the talk about how AI can really enhance your videos and all the things they can do. Live translations coming to Zoom and all these other, like it just, and transcripts in every language, and AI will do everything for you about those videos, and polls and quizzes in the video and all kinds of other things, right? That other people in their sphere compete with them that already have, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Paskin, we'll see you on Boxing Day, sir.
Yes, I was just writing in the chat. If you're celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas. You're celebrating Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah. If you're celebrating Kwanzaa, Happy Kwanzaa. Celebrating Festivus, Happy Festivus. Whatever it is, for celebrating Boxing Day. We will be celebrating Boxing Day next week. So over to you, Mike. Oh, wait, I never gave you. Oh, God, I almost left the meeting without giving you host. I'm sorry. Okay.
You have the option to move everyone
this
to
week's
the
show
waiting room.
Brought to you by Watch David F Up. Sorry.
On that
It's
note,
a test kitchen.
and David's getting a little testy before he leaves us on Friday. Yep.
And everyone tune in next week for the special Boxing Day session where crazy things will be happening because Mike's going to spend all week coming up with a fun show itinerary for us.
with graphics
and highlights of all the funniest clips of the year. And he's got nothing else to do, I'm sure.
I'm sure that, you know, oh, what was that? Oh, yeah, okay. What was that again? No, sorry. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. All right. So there we go.
I have to jump off as well. See you guys next week.
Yeah. See you, Tamara.
Have a good holiday.
Happy holidays.
Happy holiday.
All right. Cool. So back to our friends on YouTube. Open up the questions for us, everybody. Let us know what you think of the infamous. That's right. There it is.
What are you going to do when it's 672? You're going to have to give that up.
I might have to find another Giphy in a jiffy. Go figure.
I prefer GIF myself, but I know that's controversial.
Yeah, it is. Very, very true. It is GIF. Yeah. But where I did actually get that from was Giphy. And the reason I got it from Giphy, because that actually came up this week, because Zoom so if you actually look up in Giphy for the 6.7, you'll actually find that.
I was actually able to put a GIF in a meeting chat the other day. The button showed up. I don't think I have it turned on my personal account, but one of the people I was meeting with, it was their meeting and they had it turned on, and I uploaded a GIF.
Yeah. And of course I just actually did do that right now. So that was so unfortunately YouTube, you can't see it because we can't put Giphies into YouTube, but I just found the actual 6.7 Giphy that I made. But again, all I ended up doing was taking the Giphy and actually making it actually as a loopable video, so I could actually bring it into my ATEM. So through a video player.
That's interesting because it allows you to download it as well.
Yeah.
Sounds scary.
I think there's a version of Giphy that has content ratings, and you can, I don't know if it's in Zoom or a different platform I administer, you can say only PG Giphies can be posted. Like you can throttle what people can post so it's safe for work.
Yeah, that sounds logical to me. I don't know what Zoom's arrangement is with them, but
I have to go look at that again. I forgot all about that there was a content rating system.
yeah. Oh, and Hasbuck is coming back. All right, cool. So, all right. So did we go through everything in 6.7 as a question? I know we talked about tabs. Oh, John's trying to figure out. I don't know. Sorta. Okay. Yeah.
I don't think we went through everything. But
we didn't go through everything. There was quite a bit.
There's probably stuff we haven't figured out yet. Even not in the meeting, but in the desktop application, there's changes there too, right? Like all the icons are on the left-hand panel and all that other stuff, and you can drag and drop them now. And
yeah, and the cogwheel for settings is now at the bottom left in Windows. And I saw that in Linux, so I can confirm that that's both settings are in that same location. So Linux and the Windows apps seem to be a lot closer now than they used to be. That's what I've seen looking at 6.7 this week. What else did I notice? With John this week when we did our live on Tuesday, when I was host there too, I did notice, like David mentioned earlier, that host tools was not by default enabled. I had to actually go over to the more section to actually find it and bring it over, as I did today. I had to bring that over. And again, when you activate it, when you go into that more section and you click on again, I'm saying it for Windows and Linux. If you go into the more section and you choose that you want, let's say you wanted to host tools, and then you click on something else and more, it will overwrite that last one that you chose unless you drag it over to the left. So that is very important, because it happened to me a couple of times where all of a sudden I went into the more section and I chose docs as an example. So if I have docs, there is an actual horizontal bar that docs is on the right-hand side of the very left that are pinned, right? And what you would have to actually do is either right mouse click on it and do pin to toolbar, or grab it and drop it where you want it on the actual toolbar itself. that for me was different in 6.7. I don't know if anybody else noticed that this week. Oh, I see some of the panelists actually might be trying what I'm doing as I speak. If anybody on YouTube has noticed that this week, or if that's bothered them, let us know in chat and we'll talk about it.
I haven't updated to 6.7, so I don't know.
Oh, so oh, yeah, right. I missed my cue there. Hold on, there we go. Yeah, okay, all right. I forgot. Okay, I was doing my best every time 6.7 came up, even though if I was live or not. The panelists all saw that I was talking. That all of a sudden I would say 6.7. Oh, yeah, okay, there.
I'll tell you what I'm really thrilled about in this. It's not really to 6.7, but it's in the update document, Frank, that you sent the link to me for. It says that the webinar attendee invitation language has now been fixed, because the language of the invitation to the attendees of webinars was going out as the default of the owner of the license that was sending out the invitations, that was setting up the webinar.
Right. So in Zoom terminology, that would be the host of the webinar, Robert, correct? Or no? Or would it go that far?
It doesn't necessarily have to be the host, because I could be setting up a meeting on your behalf.
Right. Okay. So it doesn't go that. Yeah, it doesn't go that way. It actually goes right down to the licensee.
Yeah, to the licensee.
Licensee language based.
So that's actually a really good improvement, something that we've been waiting for a long time, because that's been a hassle up to now, and trying to force the languages. So effectively, we were using a third-party tool to get the languages right for large webinars with different people from different countries. So that's good.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Frank.
This is for Robert, but if anyone has information, please jump in. I heard that Zoom eventually, or I don't know the date, but they're going to have live audio translation, AI based, so not just captions, like translated captions, but live, not with people, but their servers will be doing it. Have you heard much about that?
I don't know I haven't heard specifically about Zoom, but I've had a look at a couple of tools that are being worked on at the moment. And the tools that I've seen being worked on are actually doing it in two stages. They're making a transcript because they've got that tool built, and then they're reading text to voice out of that. Yeah. The challenge here is that it'll work well for, or it does work well for, just a general conversation. Mm-hmm. But as soon as you get into any vertical markets, then you start getting issues, or there's no option in the good tools. You have the possibility to put in your own like dictionary of words.
Yeah. Before the meeting, you can upload. From what I heard, I don't know if it's true or not. You'll be able to upload documents or link to you know how right now in Zoom you can link to your OneDrive, to your Google Docs, all that stuff. And if you allow Zoom AI to read that stuff, or if you upload prior to the meeting custom dictionaries or other documents, the AI will look at all that stuff and try to identify like problematic phrases or words. And then when you do the live translation, it'll kind of already have a sense of some of the language that might be required.
That sounds cool.
But I don't know.
It'll be good for corporate slang, for example. So that should be really useful for that area. Like I said, I think with the very high-tech vertical markets for pharmaceuticals, where they're doing R&D, we're going to stay with people in that area. We're also, what I'm hearing from the market is that where there are very legal decisions being made, in other words, you have AGMs or things like supervisory board meetings, they're going to want a person there who's responsible.
Oh yeah, for sure. Anything critical. I think the market for this is low-hanging fruit. Like, I want to have a meeting with 20 people from around the world, and we don't all have a common tongue, or some of us aren't proficient in whatever base language. and we'll buy the meeting add-on for a month or for a year or whatever, and we'll just do the best we can and muddle through. It'll be better than some people's broken attempts at speaking a not their first language.
Absolutely. I mean, Zoom does an incredible job with the translated captions. And I think the engine that's going to be sitting on there should really improve the quality of the experience for a lot of people. Because what we find in the at least in the translation industry, is that non-native speakers are really challenging to do live translation for.
Yeah, I do captioning all the time, usually post, and people whose first language isn't English. It's one of the things that really makes a lot of problems in the captions that have to be corrected.
Robert, there'll always be that mannerisms, though, right? That'll be important of the speakers.
Yeah, but when you think about it, with this tool, you should theoretically, and I mean, interpreters at the moment, before they get an assignment with a speaker that they haven't worked with, they will go and look at recordings of the work of that speaker, just to grab the way he speaks, the pace that he uses, etc. So I think in these tools, there will be the opportunity to ask you speak for 15 minutes or upload a file so that we can learn how you speak, sort of thing. In a similar way, when you do go on to oh gosh, now it's
11 Labs.
Yeah. On my account in 11 Labs, when I was setting up my voice, it took about 15 to 20 minutes to get some basic substance of my voice, and then I uploaded recordings of myself, and it's brilliant. I mean, it's brilliant.
Yeah. There was, and I think I sent to you last week, I think there was one company that, not remember what it was, but I remember sending you a link, I think in the last Zoom Test Kitchen, related to a company that is in the broadcast world. So this would be in the television, in the broadcast world, where they're getting to the point now of taking live sports and not needing those local in language announcers, so that you could actually have, them commentating based on the English commentating already, so that they delay everything properly enough to do it in time, or for them to just have people have the content itself looked at and then described.
Yeah. There's also a lot happening in the sign language area, but from what I've seen so far and the feedback that I've got, just like with most AI tools, in sign language, the hands do, the movement of the hands give you, for example, to simplify it, the alphabet for you to send the message. But all of the emotional layer and everything else comes from facial expressions, head movements. They can get the head movements more or less right, but the facial expressions that are meant to be associated with emotions, that goes a bit wonky at the moment. They'll get used to it in time, but they're not there yet.
Yeah, and that's where I was sort of going with the mannerisms, right? Where the body language, right, of the person, when they're speaking, they can say the word 5 different ways, and it could have 5 different expressions, right? So there's hi, 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 hi. There's all different. I might be, saying hi, then I'm in a good mood, or I might be saying hi, I'm in a bad mood, right? There's just the different mannerisms that you're reading from my visual. You don't know what's going on, but you're reading it from my body language.
Yeah, and the biggest challenge, of course, is to any of these AI tools working for politicians, because you're trying to interpret or translate something that is abstract into something that is not abstract, and that's where the algorithms just don't get it. They don't get it at the moment. I'll tell you a little story. There was some. This is something my wife told me. There was a speaker who had come on, and the worst thing for interpretation or live translation are jokes, because you go into a different country, you don't know the culture, you say a joke, and you don't know as a speaker if it's going to land. And she told me that there was one event when this guy told a joke that was just not on. It shouldn't have been said out loud in the country that he was speaking. And so my wife interpreted and said, "Now the speaker's just said a joke, please laugh." And everyone who's listened to that just burst out laughing. And that wasn't the funny bit. The funny bit was after the event, the guy came up to my wife and asked, "How did you translate that? Because this is the first time people have reacted so wildly every time when I've said that joke."
She was being politically correct, telling everybody to laugh.
Yeah, but you won't get an AI. It'll be difficult to figure out how to do those things with algorithms. Not at
right,
this stage,
unless you're, again, like she did. She thought about it, going, okay, is it going to be funny? It's supposed to be funny, and make sure that, you know, when again somebody, as they're typing the stuff in, are pre-warning that it should come across from the closed captioner or the sign language person that, you know, I should have a smile on my face, or, you know, again, it's going to all be within the models, right? Where they are starting to customize the models to be able to do just specific things, right? And it was actually interesting. I was watching a YouTube video over the last couple of days that was talking about the persistent models and the well-known models, which is to be like a ChatGPT, a Gemini, and stuff like that, where those models are only at most, on average, 70% correct and 30% wrong. Where these persistent, I believe is the right word, models. I'm trying to remember the right word, but it basically, they're at like 90-ish, like 99, 95% percentile. When it's like you ask it to do something, it's not going to hallucinate. It's not going to do anything. But again, those are very specifically made ones that don't have everything in them. They only have certain functionality learned into them so that they only know how to do certain things. So it's getting down to your specialist, shall we call it, you know, how you have your, in the, you know, workplace, you have a generalist that knows a lot of different jobs. Now you've got a specialist that it knows that specific job, but heaven forbid, move that specialist to a different department and they're lost, right? So now that is starting to sound like where the models are actually starting to sound like they're getting like that too. Depending on certain companies as well. This one specifically that I was looking into was actually related to accounting, where basically they want to be AI for accounting and make sure that, you know, if you're doing your proper, you know, if it's an invoice, inventory, all that fun stuff, that if you've already done this job before as an accountant from this specific company, like you got a bill from this specific company, all you have to literally do is, they said, bring in the PDF of the bill into the dashboard, and then it would automatically look and actually look into the actual PDF of it, translate that. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know this company. I got the company information, and I see the number on there, and I already know that how to deal with that in all the books, and within seconds, and it's done. So, but again, that was them training their model in the back end to be specific enough to go, yes, this is what we only want you to do, and only do that, not anything else that you might think you want to do. Just do this.
Yeah, but with some accounting systems, the challenge is slightly, from what I'm hearing, is slightly different in that you can feed it a lot of historical data, because the historical data is usually really good because it's been audited. However, where it falls over itself is when the law changes, it doesn't know that.
Right.
So if something applied in the last year and you've trained your model on the last year's data, but the law is different this year, then it needs to figure that out. It needs to find out from somewhere.
Yeah. And what they actually did say that they actually built into is that, okay, if we don't 100% know that this is the way it was done, we're going to now flag it. And now you're going to get in their inbox, as they call it, a flag of, okay, you just did this, but we're not 100% sure this is the way you want us to deal with it. Is this the way you want to do with it? Yes or no? And then from then on, it'll remember that for you.
So,
so it's sort of taking the ChatGPT memory functionality as well, where you know how you can tell ChatGPT to have the memory to remember certain things that you want it to remember, and then only use those specific things when you say certain things to ChatGPT. It's sort of using that concept a bit, but on a higher level. That's all.
My camera has died on me again.
It's funky red and frozen.
I wouldn't use that word that starts with F, but I think I will restrain myself.
It's fantastic, Robert. There's another F word.
I've come to the end of this road. I think this is going to be a lot of changes taking place with our processes this coming up to next year, because we've been thinking about what products we want to focus on, get rid of the products that haven't been performing, and then looking at the tools that we use to figure out if we've got the right stuff and if we need some changes. What's interesting is that Zoom Production Studio has ranked itself really high for next year on our tool list. It's really high.
Yeah, I can vouch for myself. I love it, especially with John and I every week. Flawless. If something happens to me, John can take over because he has access to Production Studio. There's a lot of I'm perfectly fine with it. Would I need to go any further in adding a layer of an ATEM or a vmix for what John and I are doing? No, I would say no. We do. John will add vmix into his portion and stuff, but what we do for our weekly stuff, of course, as we will grow things and bring things in more tech wise, then of course. But again, Production Studio will still be the basis of it. And, if worse comes to worse, will be our TMPing. Speaking of John, go for it, Johnny.
We don't practice.
Right.
We don't
That's
plan.
the other thing too.
We don't outline. So the best thing you can say about Production Studio is it works in a flexible, unpredictable environment really well.
I mean, I do use
that's probably the best
Studio.
recommendation I can give it, Robert. We have an unplanned show where I will go off at tangents when I feel like it, and we have no trouble using Production Studio to keep up. And I do like the thing that if I throw the conversation over to Mike, or I want to do something clever, as in I want to do something, I want to do something I haven't even told him I'm going to do, and I want to muck around the screens, I can just take over the Production Studio from him, take the control of the screen, do what I want to do, and then he can take it back on the next scene change.
Yeah. We do use Production Studio, so I'm really pleased with it, and how the cloud version, like you said, is just as stable as a rock. But one of the things that we were looking at before we made the decision is, because we've got a lot of streaming work planned for next year, how to capture comments from the streams and bring them back into the production platform. And we've been looking at Ecamm because that has a built-in option. But our challenge, of course, was because we're doing this for other clients, we don't want to have our Ecamm app authenticated with different platforms. So that didn't work for us. But the way we're going to do it is to use Restream. And Restream has something called a Restream Workplace. And you can give an account in the Restream Workplace to a client, and all of the authentication to his socials will be locked into that workplace account. And then when we have one Zoom Production Studio event, we send it down to a specific RTMP configuration on Restream. It'll send it out to whatever platforms, aggregate the comments, give us the editing tool in the comments, the tool in the comments that allow us to pull up specific items and then display that on a web page, which we'll pull into Zoom Production Studio. So that's the thinking at the moment. That's the direction we're going to be going down.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I was just trying to think if I had any thoughts on a different workflow. I'm trying to Robert, just let me go one step further with that, just so I understand more. So production studio will be sending to Restream, then the client will be sending from Restream to wherever.
We will actually own the Restream, the license, but we will set up. They have something called workplaces in Restream, where you set up a workplace with a team of people in there. And in that workplace, which will be a license for each and every client. So we'll have as many workplaces as we have clients that require the streaming service. And they'll be authenticated to their socials. So that'll keep all of the data separate, and it'll allow us to quickly roll up stream, send it out, and connect through. So we're only dealing with the RTMP config between Restream and the Zoom Production Studio event.
Okay, so again, with not knowing the worker product, but I'm fairly familiar with their basic Restream product. What made you go worker versus just their regular Restream?
This is workplace is is functionality in their business and pro licenses. So what it allows you to do is set up a workplace where you build a team which only has access to whatever is allocated to that specific team or workplace.
It's like a Zoom sub hub.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. That makes a little more sense to me.
And the good thing about Restream is that you can give the functionality of mediating the chat to a third party. So it doesn't have to be one of our people in-house. So if we're working with a client, we give him that access, and then he'll be mediating his own chats during that event, and he knows what he wants to throw up on the screen and what not to throw up on the screen.
Right. So you're basically setting up workspaces under your org.
Correct.
I'm looking quickly at the learning on the fly here as you're speaking to me about that. So
it's workspaces. I was calling it workplaces. It's workspaces. Sorry.
Workspaces. Yeah. Okay. So that makes so basically, each of your gigs is going to be a workspace. No. Each of your companies is going to be a workspace.
Each of our clients is going to be a workspace, so that we can hold multiple events for one client using that one workspace. Because a workspace is like a team. You set up a team of people in there and you give them access to that.
Right. So that I'm just trying to figure out why give them the control instead of you being able to control sending it out from Restream to whatever they want to go to.
I'm only giving them control to monitor the chat, because they know how to moderate the chat, what responses they want to give, and what they want to bring out of pull out of the chat and put onto the screen that will be going out through the stream. So
so you're actually so you're actually using the functionality on Restream, which is the combining of all the different platforms into one chat box. Correct. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Frank.
We've been asking Zoom to do this for a long time. We've been saying that meetings should be able to have custom roles. Like, I'd like to have the ability to create a moderator role in Zoom meeting that's the chat moderator, but they can't touch the video. You know, things like that. Like, Zoom's never gone there, but if Zoom did that, that would be very useful for a lot of people. If you could say, okay, I need a co-host who can only touch chat. I need a co-host who can only do this, who can only do that. Custom roles in meeting would be awesome.
Yep, I agree with you 100%. Where's the I agree with this message button?
Right. So again, we were talking last week a little bit about the competition of Riverside. Now, how does this fall into all that stuff too? Is that close? Not close? I know Riverside is more podcasting. They're more based on audio, from my understanding initially. I don't know if they have a video component or not, because I don't use them, but I'm curious if that's got anything to do with that in here too, Robert. Your thoughts?
I'm not had a Riverside account which I've played with, but I can't say much about it. I'm more familiar with Restream because we've been using Restream for a long, long time. Restream amongst gamers was tested to the core, so and it's just a very, very stable platform with a lot of good studio. They've got the studio functionality that I've been referring to build the workspaces and set up things in there. The other thing about Restream is that you can ingest an audio track into the stream for a specific destination. So that's when you think about overlaying a different language onto a stream that's going out, that works really, it's really cool.
Right. So, and again, too, from Restream, you could always go to our friend, that will be able to do the closed captioning for you as well before he sends it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. With eel. Yeah. With eels. Yeah.
To be very honest, I haven't tested it in that way, but it's definitely theoretically an option that we will.
Because in theory, you could actually from Restream RTMP to him, and then of course delay it, then check your closed captionings, let it generate it, or you manually type them, up to you, and then send it back out again from him and send it back out.
That's not the way we do it because Restream is really a platform that was built to send one RTMP stream to, and then to send that out to multiple platforms. So we'd need to put the captions in before we send it out.
Right. That's what I'm saying is that you could send it to Restream and still have them have all the chat in there, but the main RTMP that leaves Restream goes to him first before it actually goes to the platform, so that you can actually get the closed captioning on it.
Yeah,
as a workflow. You see what I'm saying?
It'd have to be in that place in that.
Yeah.
But,
Not go from Restream to a YouTube. You'd go Restream to him to a YouTube.
Yeah, it's not something that I've played with, so I can't really comment on that yet at this stage.
Right.
But definitely looking at tools and things for next year. That's going to be the direction that we move into. So we'll be dropping all of the other tools that are hosted here in the studio. Because Restream was in the cloud, there's production studios in the cloud, so effectively moving there. And I think from quality and a safety point of view, it's going to be really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it just has to be now from the venue of choice where your client wants you, that now you just have to make sure whatever's leaving goes to, I guess at this point, leaving there would go to production studio. And then from production studio goes to, you're sending the one RTMP, custom RTMP out to Restream. And then from Restream, they're seeing all the chat at that particular point. That's coming back in for it. Yeah. The only thing that you might have to test, and I'm thinking about my theory on that, is that I don't know if through Restream's product that it would need, can you just get, without sending an actual RTMP feed to YouTube, could you get just chat back using Restream's workplace?
I don't know, but why would I want to do that?
No, if you're using the method that I was talking about sending just the one stream, well, interesting. Yeah, you could actually go from production studio then to Eel's product, then from Eel's product to Restream, and then Restream to all the different platforms.
Correct.
Yes.
That's the way I understood you. Yeah, so.
Oh, okay. No, I was going the other way where I was sending production studio to Restream and then back out again. But yeah, no, Restream would need to be the last one so that it gets all the different platforms that they want to send to. Right.
Exactly. And the reliability of Restream connecting up to multiple platforms is really high. That the experience is good, and it really works well. Even with sending out, for example, the big secret to working on LinkedIn is not to send 1080p. So it does a good job on that config, and it's very clean. It's very clean.
Yeah, and Hershey Bar is actually making a comment on YouTube. He says, I would attempt to try in using the transcript in the description today. There was a lot of talk of the number 6.7 plus the title. It might spin up something cool. Trying to think. I would attempt to try to use the transcript in the description. Transcript in the description. Hershey, are you talking about transcript when it comes to YouTube in the description? I don't know if that's what you're meaning by that or not. Or are we talking about which Robert just enabled, which is us embedding it, our closed captioning hard coding? Is that what you're meaning? That would be definitely a question as well. Because again, there's a difference between what we were talking about, where now Robert's enabled that we're hard coding the actual closed captioning on the screen, as compared to Zoom, or as compared to YouTube or any other platform that has a closed captioning button receiving the closed captioning. And that's what Robert and I were talking about, is that our mutual friend of ours, which I've known Neil for decades now at this point. He goes back, a good 20 years with me. Eel actually has a product that actually will take any RTMP stream you make and actually allow you to actually use his AI system to actually put closed captioning on it, and also check it before it actually goes live streamed. So you could actually make modifications in the closed captioning live with your closed captioners, or you could do a hybrid of, if you want them to just type everything in, you could in his platform, or you can use his AI-based system that will actually take the audio coming in and actually do its best to translate it to the different languages that you want. And it'll do that live on the fly.
And the cool thing about it is that you can set the delay time.
Right.
So if you've got a simple text that needs, and you're just looking out for small things, you've got one translator, one interpreter sitting there and checking it out, then it can flow pretty quickly. But if it's more complicated, you can put a longer delay time. It's something like they do in the TV world, the longer delay time.
Yeah.
So you have that space to fix things that you don't want to go out.
Right. Exactly. Or all of a sudden, somebody swears, and all of a sudden you put in, some sort of content of, brackets, swear or something, or delete it, or beep or whatever, depending on if they put it, like if you're watching an award show and all of a sudden you hear blah, blah, beep, blah, 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 beep, that's a 10-second delay that they've already put on that broadcast already. So they can make sure that they bleep everybody with their wonderful colored language.
The caption for bleep is bleep, Mike.
But that's true. That's correct. But I've seen it depending on the closed captioning company that's being used. I've seen it in square brackets where they go bleep, just to emphasize that they are taking out that word on purpose and it's matching the tone that you heard on the screen. So yeah, again, it's up to the captioner, really, and the captioner equipment that they're actually using too. And I've seen some captioning equipment when I've been watching it too, really, really bogged down, where all of a sudden it's sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. It's waiting for that full sentence to finish. Then it finally starts spitting all the information out. So then now it's officially really behind the live audio. But again, it just depends on if it's entirely automated or not automated at all. In this case, as you're watching us on YouTube right now, that is 100% automated. We don't have the capability of fixing any of the words that I am saying before it goes out. But what Robert's talking about with this system is that we could literally check every single word ahead of time, but we would have to make sure we put in enough of a buffer to do that. And with Eel's system, the audio and closed captioning would be in sync when it left his system before it went to whatever platform you wanted to go to from his platform as well, because he also does direct to any social media platforms as well from his system. But in the respect of where Robert wants to have the workspaces, where they want to be able to answer all different social media chat. EEL does not have that product where that chat functionality is built into it. But that would be where EEL and Restream do compete against each other if you didn't need that functionality.
That's an area that we need to look at as well, because when we're sending out through Restream different language versions, we'd also be having different workspaces. So we'd be getting the chats back in the language that we're sending the stream out in. So we could just aggregate that and have them. The question is, how do you aggregate or monitor the aggregation of all of all of the different language channel chats? That's a challenge which we haven't figured out how to do yet. So we usually have one interpreter per language doing that.
Right, especially on the captioning side, Robert.
I'm referring to the chat. The
aggregation. Chat. Okay.
Yeah. So when if we're streaming, for example, in 2 languages to simplify it, that would be one stream here and one stream there. So we'd have 2 workspaces, and one would be aggregating the first language chats if it's going to multiple locations, and the second from the second. So that's something that can be done. The question is, how do you aggregate the 2 sums of the different chats? But that's really not a real.
And again, it depends on the platform you're sending to. If you could actually have different audio channels, right? So that's where that comes down into play too, at the CDN level. So let's say a Vimeo versus a YouTube. For YouTube, you would have to have, if you wanted 3 different languages, you have to have 3 different YouTube lives, right? But in the Vimeo world, you actually could use just one, but again, you would have to tell them within the actual player to choose which audio drop down they want to be able to go from English to French to whatever, which is similar to.
I didn't know that, because when we last tested Vimeo and we actually gave up using Vimeo because of that, you could only add the language channels post-production. You couldn't do it during the production.
You couldn't do it live? They weren't offering that live?
We couldn't get it
okay.
At the time we were looking at it.
Okay. Now
may
again,
have changed by now, but
I remember back in the live stream days, the company that Vimeo bought, that functionality was there, but that doesn't mean that the functionality is not still there. But the people that used to be there that know about that functionality might not be there anymore, right? So through the the infamous merger of live stream being bought by Vimeo, I do know that functionality was built into there, because I know the former CEO of Livestream, and he did have that functionality built in, because that was one of his ways in the beginning for him to deal with multiple language content. But again, we're talking a while ago, right? Mm-hmm. So that's it. And again, it might be the special way that you are sending the one encoded feed to them, that you would have to have it within the actual main encoder itself, where you're feeding all, again, in the broadcast world, I'll talk a little bit of broadcast. And again, YouTube understands how to deal with this too, sort of, is that if you actually send multiple audio channels, we're not talking left channel, right channel here. I'm talking in the broadcast world, especially on the SDI world, which has basically been copied over to the fiber world as well. You will have up to 8 channels within one SDI cable. Potentially there's more, but let's just say in the broadcast world, for argument's sake, a lot of the time they'll use up to 8. Okay. Now in the Vimeo world, if you are encoding the video, of course, is going to always be consistent, but you could actually have multiple audio subchannels. So that, and within the actual encoder itself, depending on the encoder software that you're using, you could actually say, yes, from this audio jack, that is going to be on the encoder channel 1, and from this audio jack is going to be channel 2, da 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 da. And that's where you'd have your English language on channel 1, French on channel 2, Spanish on channel 3, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's one encoded feed that is being sent to the content delivery network. And then at the content delivery network, it goes, oh yeah, I see that you've got X amount of audio channels coming in, you now tell me what is channel one audio, is channel one related to English? Is channel related, then you just let it within their system, tell it that this is English, this is French, this is Spanish, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's not multiple. It would not be, if there's 5 languages, it would not be 5 encodes that you would send to Vimeo to be on one player, because it would not make any sense then. It would have to be 5 then, just like YouTube.
But with YouTube, this isn't functionality that is available to everyone.
Right.
You have to get a special. It is a privileged service that they provide to certain customers.
Yeah, and again they also look at it too, that what is the gear that you're going to send it to them with, right? So again, if you're going to use OBS, it's not going to happen. If you're going to use Ecamm or Mimo Live, it's not going to happen. Will it happen on higher end, which we're getting into the broadcast world encoder gear? Yes, because they're smart enough to be able to send down from that unit. You can actually assign certain things, and it will send the proper flags to a Vimeo or to another content delivery network that understands that, if you're seeing audio 0 is ENG, that's English. So you put in the player English, and 1 is FRA, that's classified as French. Now in the player, now you have English and French in the drop-down buttons. It's not complicated, but it's also not easy either. So it's one of those in gray areas in the regards of the broadcast guys know how to do it because they've been doing it for decades. And when they actually will receive, more specifically, I could talk about this in the sports world. I could easily get, a footy match or a soccer match or whatever you want to call it, hockey match. And I can easily get 8 channels of audio. If Fred was here, he would know what I'd be talking about, where I'd get 8 audio channels where one of those audio is going to be English. One of those is going to be they have the other 6 languages. So you would have your 7, and then your 8th audio would be what they would actually call just clean feed. What means by that is that clean feed would be just a crowd audio. So you'd actually have atmosphere audio from the venue with no commentator, no nothing on it. So that you could, in your local country, that's Robert in Poland, have your Polish announcers now talk over the crowd as if they flew those guys to the local stadium. And it sounds like they're actually up in the booth where they're actually really in a hidden studio audio room with 2 microphones looking at a TV screen. But that's showing, the back end of, but this would be normal in a FIFA situation. This is what used to happen with me all the time when I used to get the FIFA feeds, and we used to do English, Spanish, and Portuguese. But yeah, it can be done. But again, it also depends on the CDN you're working with, and then if the CDN is smart enough to understand that, then the video player that you go when you're like in YouTube's video player, it has to be smart enough to understand to do that too. Not only just sending in the feed to the content delivery network, the player itself has to understand it has the capabilities.
Yeah, my point was that YouTube does have that player, but it's not accessible to everyone.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. And again, that is more of something that they would have to enable in the backend. Yeah, because I know that some of our like John's BBC and our BBC from the UK, and I know our CBC from Canada, they will do it all the time where they'll have the English and French within the same player. There are times where they decided not to do that, and they would actually have 2. So they would actually have an English broadcast and French broadcast. But that also allowed them to, and this is where it gets complicated with YouTube, is the closed caption, right? So now the closed captioning itself, you would have to have multiple channels, and then the player has to be smart enough to do the multiple closed captioning too. And that's where CBC actually broke it out to 2, because of the fact that the YouTube player couldn't handle, from my knowledge, from my understanding, and this might have been a while ago, closed captioning twice, like 2 different versions of closed captioning within the one player. Oh, John's being cute with us. Sure, let's show what John's doing. why not? So
Very
then,
cool.
oh, then he ran away. Then he stopped doing it when I was doing that. But yeah, it was. Oh, there we go. All right.
It may
Let's see
not
if it's
work
good.
when you Oh, it does.
There we
work.
go.
Okay.
Yeah, it is working. Very cute. Yeah. One way of John catching our attention while we're talking here about. So yeah, so it was good that we brought up the codec stuff today. We brought up the audio stuff. So we're doing a little more productions related stuff. So that got us a little bit off of this topic. Oh, there it is again. He's back. Okay, there we go. He ran away again. Okay, good. Put him back in the quarter again because we haven't said 6-7 in a while. Oh, there it is again. Oh, I said it again. No, he came back. He stuck back again. All right. Very cool. So any other questions from the YouTube audience? Hershey Bar, good to see you here. Wait, I thought you could do manual dubbing as well as dubbing in different languages now on YouTube. Robert, do you know that answer for Hershey? I don't know that answer.
Manual dubbing post-production. Yeah, we're talking about, because we've been talking about streaming. And so
right.
It's the streaming is the challenge. Post-production.
Right. The live
yes,
is a challenge. Right.
Yeah. Post-production. Yes, you have the ability, the possibility to do that.
Right.
By either loading up VVT files or by loading up home audio channels.
Right.
Additional audio files.
Right. So Robert, when your clients ask you to do, so the video obviously may have been done in English, but when you do the putting up the archive for them in, let's say, French, they're hearing the French audio, right, on YouTube?
Correct. But most of them, to be very honest, most of them ask for a clean film with the dubbed second language, for example, with French, so that they can listen to it before it's published. The trouble with doing a separate audio, just audio, and then putting it on is you've got to trust the process that it's time-stamped properly and everything syncs in properly. Otherwise, you get into a mess. Because the only way to check it then is to have someone like an interpreter who understands both languages to be able to check it. And that's a very, very time-consuming process. So they prefer just to have one version that's in English, for example, one version in French. They take it, they have people listen to it. Okay, and then they load it up.
Right. So so when you give them the final cut, shall we call it, is that already with the audio on it, or is it just an audio file where they're listening to the audio and approve the audio file, then you bring it back?
No, it's the audio is already there. Most of them just have two separate uploads. And apart from that, with a lot of our the majority of our customers, our corporate customers, well, they'll be putting it onto their intranet, internal network, just for internal use. But in the rare occasions, and they are rare occasions when they do something that is outbound to the public, then yeah, they're very careful with what goes out there.
Of course.
So they'd have two files that have been accepted internally.
Right. Oh, I see Frank has found Giphy in a jiffy. Very nice. Frank is wishing everybody within which of course I will relay for Frank. He's wishing everybody happy holidays. Oh, and he's got his attaboy. Oh, you got to show that off before you disappear on us. What is that? Going to a hockey game tonight?
No. Just like wearing patriotic clothing.
Attaboy. Yeah. We're both of the Canadian guys are in red now. There you go. That's it. Doing good.
The Christmas greetings in the chat are also in red.
Yes. It's a festive color.
Festive. It is. I thought I would be festive today. I did. Instead of my normal black, I thought I would be festive and have my red on today. But everybody's been enjoying my 6-7, so I haven't been able to do my other graphics. Oh, yeah, Johnny's back. Yeah. And
actually, Frank, to tell you the truth, that GIF that you put into the chat is really cool.
No, yeah.
That's very nice.
Well, I didn't make it, so.
That was some good Giphy searching. Was that right, Frank?
I just typed happy holidays and it was one of the first ones. I went, oh, that looks nice. I'll pick that one. I think GIFs in chats in Zoom are controversial depending on what you're using Zoom for.
That's fair. That's fair because
I
they
know
can be
a lot
taken
of people who would turn
multiple
them
different
off.
ways.
Well, plus they could be pretty distracting if you've got people who can't control themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yep, totally fair.
Anyways, I just want to say happy holidays. I'll try and catch up with you gentlemen in a week on Boxing Day.
Boxing Day.
With actual boxing.
With
the feats of strength. No, that's Festivus.
So does that mean I have to now get the ring bells? Is that what I have to bring in?
I don't know. You can do whatever you want.
Oh, yeah. In this corner, David Paskin. Ding, ding. Yeah.
Hope Father Christmas is good to all of you if that's what you celebrate. If it's not, well, I hope you enjoy whatever celebration you're having.
Yeah.
Thanks, Frank. Thank you very much.
All right. Talk to you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Cool. So, Mr. Drinkwater, you've been a silent boy today. I just don't know what to do with you. You're usually very boisterous with me on Tuesdays.
Everything in my head is next year, so can't really talk about now.
Oh, you're in holiday mode already?
No, I'm in future planning mode.
Future planning mode.
I completely get you, John.
Yeah, Robert's been talking about his future plans too.
Signed up to Salesforce yesterday.
Condolences.
Well, there's a lot of corporates out there who want to get their data out of Zoom, and Zoom is supposed to do it and doesn't.
Yeah, as a corporate user of Salesforce, condolences. But yeah, you're right, John. It's true. And there is already integrations, John, correct?
Yeah, there is. Oh, need a new special effect now. Lightning.
There we go. There's a quick 6-7. There we go.
Lightning. There is a Lightning interface in Salesforce, and there's a Zoom plugin that's supposed to take data out of events and put it into Salesforce. I say supposed to because I do pick up quite a few people complaining about things not working properly. So,
right, yeah. When we're weekly, well, in our meetings with Josh on the Zoom events team.
Well, yeah. I mean, I pick up hints from the events team, from the developers team, from the community champions. You just pick up background noises from all those places.
I think it's midnight here. I'm going to say good night as well. I got to have an early start tomorrow. So nice chatting to you. Have a good Christmas and see you with new toys next time.
Yeah, with a new camera.
Oh, John, don't get me wound up. I tell you, this has been the most expensive experiment that I have done this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Fair. Very fair. Robert, happy holidays to you and the wife and the family. Take care, and we'll see you on. Will you be with us on Boxing Day?
We'll make your next year better.
I'll tell you a secret though, a public secret now. In all my ignorance, I was always convinced that Boxing Day comes from a tradition of families meeting up and beating each other up after Christmas because they couldn't get on with each other.
And then there's the retail guys that will actually make the comment of Boxing Day being where you go buy boxes, as in you go buy cheap things that did not get sold during Christmas. And that's where everybody that got their Christmas money would now go spend it on Boxing Day sales.
That's closer.
Closer.
Yeah.
Now, in theory, we didn't say that there were not black eyes happening during Boxing Day back in the days. You got to remember, we're talking pre-Amazon, pre-online shopping, that people were literally, left their party at 2:00 in the morning and probably just went right to the store because they got in line because they were opening at 6 again. because Boxing Day sales was starting at 6 o'clock in the morning, and you wanted to be in line because there was only going to be 100 TVs at $200, and you wanted to be the first out of 100, and they would only had one stack in the corner, and you literally saw, if you see it on YouTube, there's still these videos that are out there of people that are literally prying the door open as the door's automatically trying to open, and they're prying it open. People are falling over people, and then they zoom over to get that $100 television that was $1,000 before Christmas, and now it's only $100. And they're literally beating each other up. But
just to summarize, John, this experiment of mine has convinced me that I will never buy another teleprompter with an inbuilt camera.
That's fair.
I can see why you would say that. I will probably never buy a teleprompter which is integrated to the screen. I'm now buying separate screens and glass, because in my teleprompter world, I want 3 teleprompters and I want them all in sync. And the only way to have them all in sync is to get them all HDMI and then feed the same signal into each screen. And I'm really getting slightly annoyed. I'm getting very annoyed that all these teleprompter products that keep coming in, integrated ones, have got USB 3. So you end up with 3 completely different signals going to the 3. So there's a big hole in the market between the cheap, this is what it does, and then as soon as you want to do something different, it's like a whole horrendously larger price range and complexity and everything.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think they did very well when they brought the Elgato teleprompter out, and they put all those different plastic little things. So they as you've hinted, they avoided the let's give them a camera, and they thought no, let's give them lots of plastic rings, so whatever camera they have, they can make use of that camera, and they avoided that problem of painting people into a corner. Yeah. Otherwise, everybody have had to use a certain camera of a certain spec with certain limitations, and they dodged a bullet there, definitely.
So, if that's my takeaway for this year, take care, guys. Bye.
Yeah, take care.
Yeah.
Have a happy holidays, John, or to Robert and your family. There we go. And that's a good point.
Good.
John.
I'm glad he's gone now, because now we can mention that Polish is coming off the list of languages that Zoom's going to translate. We didn't mention that to him, did we? No, that's okay then. Didn't want to ruin his Christmas even more.
No, I know. And of course, we're kidding. So there we go.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not kidding.
Why are you not? Why are you not kidding?
Polish is being taken off one of the language being supported for things happening next year.
That's true, which we cannot talk about yet.
We can't talk about it because we don't know about
That's
it.
right. That's right. But that is true. But it's not related to closed captioning or anything currently.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. But it does show how they, some of the things Zoom is doing is going backwards, unfortunately.
Yes. John and I are not allowed to comment on such, but let's just say it's coming soon to a theater near you. Not necessarily a theater, though.
But let's just say this whole thing of languages and captions is such a complicated world, especially when he gets to the point where he said, well, I want to send out multiple language versions. Okay, well, so we get somebody to translate it. And then you've got, but then if they comment their social media, I need to collect all that back. Oh, and it's now going to be in different languages. It's just just to draw a diagram of where all the stuff is going in and out would be a nightmare, let alone actually solving the problem.
And John, you brought up a good point too, where you're talking about teleprompters being at $300, which is our Elgato. And then if you want what John wants, you're up to like $2,500, if not $3,000, right? There is that big gap in the middle where, if you had the capabilities, which John basically wants to do, is that John
Robert.
basically wants to. What do you mean?
I'm John. He's Robert.
I know you're John. What did I say?
You said you kept using my name. I thought you were talking about what Robert wants to do.
No, I was talking about your teleprompters.
Oh, okay, my teleprompter thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and of course, the other problem is you're miles away from me now on that teleprompter, because I don't want the and I can't remember what the technical. I don't think there is a technical word, but if you have a camera up close, you get this flattening effect on your head. Your head gets flattened basically because
Right.
the depth of field is not there to allow the camera to really adjust properly. But as soon as you do that, then you've got the issue that they need to bring out an XL because it's so far away now, it's so small. If I put anything on the screen apart from you, so I can talk to you, if I put a group of people or if we were doing screen sharing earlier and I put the screen sharing on there, I wouldn't be able to see it. It would be too small.
Yeah. And again, John, what you're doing is literally what they do in normal television studios, right? You just want that. You want that. You're not getting to the point of doing a confidence monitor yet, but you're close. So the total TV studio world is teleprompter, which they could, in theory, be confidence monitors if they wanted it to be, because they have full control of what the signal is going to that. And 9 times out of 10, it's text. But they also have in the front of where you normally have your screen now on the teleprompter itself, they actually have another bracket that comes down that it's a normal size TV that would be the same width as the teleprompter screen that's above it. And it would have on it what is program being sent out right now. So that's why on occasion you'll see the news people as they are talking to somebody that they're interviewing and they're staring straight at the screen. Every once in a while you'll see them, then all of a sudden they do this, which if you notice me on YouTube right now, I'm purposely looking down now. That's them looking down at their confidence monitor because they're actually looking at the person they're talking to now to make sure that the person is still there and that the person that they're talking to is there, because they've got on the screen, they've got the questions on the teleprompter portion, right?
Yeah.
So Johnny's getting more high tech, and that's not scary to me. It's just more production studio stuff for me to do. So I'm okay with that too. But John then would just have to send in, if John wants to do multiple angles, then in production studio, that officially would be multiple clients. Unless I'm switching the ATEM remotely from here too.
Yeah. Or unless I'm doing it myself, switching the camera so that I'm switching a camera. So you only get one camera feed, but that camera feed could be camera 1, could be camera 2, could be camera 3. That's where I'm going my production.
Which is officially just like we're talking about version 6.7 today. Oh, there he is. He came back again and he's quickly disappeared. Again, that's me video switching off of the ATEM, doing a cut to all of a sudden have Mr. 6.7 come back. Oh, there he is again. Oh, hold on. He came back again. There he goes. All right. And he's gone. So that's where that type of situation would come into play too. So John would either, if John wanted hands off entirely, he would have to send me each individual camera feed into production studio, which he could. They could be, I could have, Lord Zoom camera 1, Lord Zoom camera 2, Lord Zoom camera 3 in production studio and take up whatever camera I want to do and put it into the templates. That's doable. 100% that's doable. So, but very, very cool. So John, you're in holidays future thinking mode.
Yep. I stopped working last Friday. So I've had a week now. And it's it's interesting. It's interesting. It's the only time of the year I have, because fortunately I don't get many Christmassy type events to run. So it's the only time of the year I really have to sit down and reset and go down some rabbit holes that could take a day or two to make sense about, and without the worry of knowing that I had some event or something I needed to support that night, because it then just distracts you. You lose your train of thought and you start again. So it's nice to be able to just shut down and get into something and work your way through it, and then come back the other side with a solution. So it's good fun.
Right. And as Ray brought up earlier, because I see you with your Zoom developer hat on, I'll throw a Zoom developer question at you. So as Ray mentioned that the 6.7 SDKs are not out currently. So there is no 6.7 new functionality currently available to the developers, correct?
You just just said the right thing. There was no functionality change in Zoom 6.7. So there'll be no developers' concerns about 6.7. What there will be is those that are using a browser version of Zoom for their app or whatever, they're going to find all the buttons have moved. So that's going to be an issue. But there's no functionality change because Zoom 6.7 didn't add any new features.
Right. So that
So I
is
don't expect a version of the SDK, any of the SDKs to be released because there's no reason to, because there's no functionality change.
Right. As of now, unless there was additional functionality within 6.7 that is a new feature that was never there for the developers before.
Unless they've introduced something new, but they did clearly say when they released 6.7 there was going to be no functionality change, it'd only be a layout change. Because that would have confused people even more.
Right. Right.
Now,
Now,
that's probably
of course,
why some of the updates we heard that were coming were probably canned because they didn't want any functionality changes. So we'll see about those.
Right. Right.
But I think
So
there's a lot
stay-
more AI to come next year.
Right. Now with them doing the AI Companion 3.0, that didn't affect the developers either, correct?
Correct. That wouldn't affect them over. And all AI 3.0 really is I think they're consolidating rather well how their AI works because they've got Zoom isn't an AI company in the fact that it doesn't have its own AI product per se. It's an AI company because it uses AI throughout the organization, but it doesn't have its own specific AI program that it uses. It uses other AI products, which I think a bit like the mess Apple's got itself into and now realizes it's come out smelling of roses. It's not invested lots of money into AI technology specifically to build AI engines. Zoom is utilizing other people are already doing that, and just like Perplexity and all the other people they're bringing in. So they're bringing in AI sources of data and AI processing from multiple manufacturers, and then building that into the AI product, which is great because it means if one AI tool falls out of favor and another one takes over, Zoom will be able to just rewire that in the background, and the functionality that we see at the front won't change, which is fantastic.
Right. And of course they still offer this too. So I'll click over to that too. And all of a sudden Magic of Television, boop. There you go. So that was a virtual background made by our friends at Zoom AI Companion. Not 3.0 though. This was actually made last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, so not really any big changes that you've seen, John, when it comes to 3.0 on the developer side.
No, and I wouldn't, as I say, I wouldn't expect any because of that, because of the, there's no actual extra APIs needed for what they're running at the moment.
Okay. Very cool. What else do we need to tell everybody about before we wish everybody a happy holidays and have a good season, and we'll see everybody on Boxing Day. Let me do it this way. I'll do it this way and say over to our YouTube audience, which there's still quite a lot of you. If you do have any further questions for John and I, we're still here to answer them. Let us know in YouTube chat, and we'll do our best to answer them up. If not, we'll wrap this up here within the next few minutes and wish everybody happy holidays.
That didn't work.
That didn't work?
No, I just asked AI what is a good recipe for cold wine. I meant mulled wine.
You're getting old wine instead of cold. Oh, did you forget the C? Tell us the truth. Typos are allowed. By the way, AI is only as good as you type. By the way, you got to remember that, everybody.
AI is great at giving it rubbish with wrong typos, and it makes sense.
Oh yeah.
That's quite good.
Oh yeah. You almost think that it does it on purpose. Because there's certain times where it knows that you're spelling it wrong. And there's certain times for a laugh, it feels like it's like, oh, I'm just going to answer the way you typed it. Sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, you meant to say this word instead of that word, and I'm going to figure this out for you, and I'm going to figure it out and give you the right answer. But there's other times where it's like, oh, that's a really bad typo. No, I'm going to force you to understand that typo and how much grief you just gave me by you giving me that typo. I'm going to give you the same grief back. You do have to wonder if AI does have a attitude. Computers do have a bit of an attitude.
Well, I've got my recipe for mulled wine, so I'm happy.
Oh, attaboy. It's old. Are we old or are we cold this time?
No, mulled wine.
Mold.
MULLED.
No, oh, that's even worse. Now we're molding the wine. Okay. All right. And I swear I'm going to keep moving so that everybody realizes that the video didn't freeze. But everybody's making us quiet on YouTube. Does that mean you guys have had enough of us for a week? Do we break everything?
I think they're already into their mince pies.
Oh, are they more worried about 6-7? Oh, there he came back again. Look at that. He snuck back. I just don't know what to do with him. He keeps sneaking back every time I say that. So I'm going to have to be careful.
I have got flashing lights in my tree, but they don't show up very well.
Oh,
got little very dim blue flashy lights, but they don't show up very well in this lighting.
yeah, I am barely seeing those. So yeah, the right beside the red ornament there. I see the little blink blue light, little guy flashing there. He's out of focus, but he's there. Yeah, he's doing a slow fade now. He's got a multiple fade. That's a multiple fade Christmas light string that you have on there, sir. It has multiple patterns. All right, very cool. So I will go down to the non-green share button now on 6-7. Oh, there he is again. Look at it, he snuck back again. The non-green share button, which will officially go share now when I go live on the share. And we'll prepare to wrap it up for the holiday edition, which John or David was surprised that I actually called it the holiday edition, which I didn't think so. I didn't think it was that. That's all right. And there we go. All right. So should we actually change it up? John, let's change it up for the holiday edition. Why not? Let's change it up to a different format that we don't usually use. Yeah, let's get all weird and wacky. I won't finish it with the normal one, which we normally do. I'll finish it with a different flavor of it. All right. We're going to choose the quote unquote dance version that I was given. We don't usually use this one. So enjoy this, and we'll wrap up the show for this holiday edition of Zoom Test Kitchen. Here we go.
Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen, where it happens live. You're a funny and testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drag. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not
All right. And I wasn't ready for that to finish that quickly, but because that was a new version. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us this week on the holiday edition of the Zoom Test Kitchen. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to let YouTube know how much you like and love our content. And of course, the more you like and love our content, the more all kinds of Zoomies come to visit us. We're here every Friday, including Boxing Day at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. And we'll see everyone next week for, as I said, the Boxing Day edition of the Zoom Test Kitchen. Take care, everyone on YouTube. Now off to the living room. Possibly some beverages.